live now.
Welcome, everybody, to the Groovy Lisa and Dusty Spins late night cruise stream.
The power hour.
The power hour. We talk about anything under the sun. If you want us to talk about something on the stream, most of it will be discussed. Okay, not everything under the sun. Almost everything under the sun.
So since we talk about everything under the sun, let's talk about this first. So what's this problem that you're having with an itchy butt?
I don't have itchy butt.
Just kidding.
I'm just saying, if anybody had itchy butt syndrome, it'd be itchy lotus or something. I don't know.
Hey, James, how you doing?
Hey, James.
Yeah.
So, I've been watching, I don't know if you guys watch it, but on
hey,
YouTube.
Easy Mick.
Hey, Easy Mick. I've been watching this thing called Trackstar, where they have these people come on and they guess the songs. I watched the David Grohl episode.
Mm-hmm.
And they had all these punk bands, and David Grohl knew pretty much all of them.
Is it kind of like that show? What was it? I don't know if it's even still on. Is it still on Shazam?
It's kind of like they play a song, you guess what it is, right? It's kind of like that.
Well, that's what Shazam basically was.
Then I was watching Billy Corgan's episode. They were just all over the place. They had the Cars, they had Patsy Cline, they had
You know who was a beast when it came to music trivia back in the day was Mark McGrath. He used to go on fucking Rock and Roll Jeopardy, and he would just like fucking kill. You know, I mean, it got to a point where no one could beat his ass.
Well,
it's like he like do so many different genres.
He may have killed in music trivia. I wish his music would have sort of, killed too.
He didn't do bad.
How often do you listen to Every Morning There's a Halo?
A couple of times a year. I got the CDs there. I was a Sugar Ray fan.
You know what was
a lot more than fucking Oasis. I listened to them a lot more each year than Oasis, I'll tell you that much.
You know what was our montage? You know what was our montage for our senior year video? Someone made a montage. And you know what song they put?
What?
It Falls Apart by them. That was our song in the background, and I was like,
hey, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
How you doing?
Everybody.
How you doing?
Hey, Mike. Hey, Z Mick. Hey, James.
So, I was watching this thing actually on the news, and it was on CNN this morning. Actually, when I was getting up and getting ready, they're talking about this thing now. It's called Blue Dot Fever. You heard of it?
No.
Blue Dot Fever now is something that a lot of these freaking big time artists and these music bands and stuff are starting to call when they have to call off their tours. They're calling it fucking Blue Dot Fever.
I heard about a few doing that.
Yeah, and it's called Blue Dot Fever because, of course, you end up looking at, the venue map, and it has a bunch of blue spots. Yes. And it's like, those are like unsold tickets. Oh, so, yeah. So now they gave it a name. It's called Blue Dot Fever. Blue Dot Fever.
I heard about that because Meghan Trainor canceled her tour.
Meghan Trainor, Post Malone. There was another person they were mentioning, too, in that whole list. They were saying they caught Blue Dot Fever.
Once you explained it, I remembered because I heard about him canceling his big ass tour with Jelly Roll. Mm-hmm. And people are saying it's because Jelly Roll is a right winger, and I'm like, I don't know why. He said his reasoning was that he would be in 3 weeks. He needed 3 weeks or something.
He needed 3 weeks for what?
Something. I don't know, but all I know is. People were speculating that maybe he didn't want to tour with Jelly Roll because he's a right winger, and I don't think that's the case because he did tour with Jelly Roll like a couple years ago.
Money's money. I mean, when they start this shit about I'm not going to tour them because of their eating bullshit. Money's money. They do.
And Meghan Trainor's, her latest. She said the reason why she canceled her tour is because she wanted to spend time with her kids. And people are like, bullshit, your tour wasn't selling.
Yeah, I'm like about to say, Meghan Trainor, it's like, when's the last time we really heard anything from her?
Oh, she had that god-awful song with John Legend, I'm Gonna Lose You.
Oh, well, yeah, okay, that was pretty good. But I'm talking about, like, before that was, like, all about, the only thing I remember is all about that bass. That's the only thing I fucking remember when it comes to her.
when she lost the weight, and she got skinny, oh my God, her fans were like, why did you lose the weight? Used to be all about that bass.
Sorry, I'm a fucking chubby chaser. I lost interest in her too.
Well, I mean that's totally fine, but sometimes people need to prioritize their health.
Hey,
You can't
Dave.
expect her to be fat forever. Maybe she just didn't want to be fat forever.
No, I'm not saying I expect her to be fat forever, but that was one of the things that when she first came out, that's what made her kind of original was that, she was heavy set in a world of nothing but thin,
Yeah.
paper thin freaking singers.
I
You
liked her
know?
because she kind of. I saw her and I thought, hey, she's kind of got
Mm-hmm.
chubbiness to her like me, and I thought that was really cool. And then when she lost all the weight,
Mm-hmm.
I thought, oh my god, she looks emaciated now. She looks too skinny.
Kimba said Jelly Roll is wrapped up in scandal. Hello,
Yeah,
Kimba. Welcome to the room.
yeah.
Didn't he lose weight or something of that sort?
Jelly Roll lost like almost 200 pounds, I think.
How do you do it so goddamn fucking quick?
He did in 2 years. Took him 2 years.
For a couple of 100 pounds, 2 years is quick.
I mean,
I
it
think.
is. It
You
is.
know.
Because when you lose weight, it does take time. It takes anywhere from a year to a couple of years to lose over 100
Mm-hmm.
pounds, I think.
Mm.
I mean, I've never lost over 100 pounds, but.
And I have a fucking bone to pick with fucking Walmart. It was my own ignorance, I guess. I was going around shopping for CDs or whatever, buying some CDs
Yeah.
and, hanging out. And I saw this. I did not understand what these are, right? I picked this up and I was kind of like, oh, this is kind of cool. And then I turned around and I looked. I was like, oh, it's a 3 CD set. I'm like, ooh, that looks pretty interesting. Bring it home. And it's basically just a bunch of like fucking people that nobody fucking knows covering fucking Iron Maiden songs. I mean, there's a couple on here that maybe you may know, like, Saxon. I know who they are, but there's a lot of fucking unknown bands on here.
Name some of the bands. I might know them.
Steve Grimmett?
Nope.
Don't know. Steve Overland, Gary Barden.
Nope.
Like, who the fuck is that? Bernie Shaw. That sounds familiar. Bernie Shaw, Doogie White, Steve Grimmett, Steve Overland. Yeah, so CD2 is like just all Steve Grimmett, Steve Overland, and Doogie White.
I don't know who those people are.
Vitamin String Quartet does Run to the Hills.
I know who they are.
That's kind of funky. CD3 has Saxon, Split Beaver.
Split Beaver?
Split Beaver.
Is that what you call your thing?
Jaguar, Quartz, The Handsome Beast, Buffalo, Twisted Ace, Dragster, Persian Risk. Witchfinder General, Shiva, Saxon. For me, I really should have read the back of this before I bought it. I just assumed that it was like a compilation. Reason being is because the month before I was in there and I had bought this because I have a bunch of like Black Sabbath albums. But I was like, you know what? Let me buy something where I don't have to pull out all my vinyl or all my Black Sabbath CDs and go through each one to hear certain songs. Maybe I just want to pull one out because this was a great compilation for the price. I think this was only like $8.
Yeah.
And this has like everything you really want for Black Sabbath. I know Tim would fucking is going to roll in his grave when he hears that. But, but yeah, this basically has everything. If you're like, you don't have any Black Sabbath, this is fucking definitely, the thing for you to get you in on it. I mean, because like I said, I have a bunch of the albums. I have a bunch of CDs, but this is just like if I just want to, throw it on, so this was a good deal. So I thought, okay, well, if I got this and it was a good deal, I thought that this would be a good deal. It wasn't. Only reason why this ended up being worth it is because the first CD basically has all the songs done by Paul Di'Anno. So it's all the original, like, Iron Maiden, the first song, Killers, Phantom of the Opera, Wrathchild, all the Paul Di'Anno, Iron Maiden, songs. But it's still like, if you have the first couple albums, you don't fucking need this. If you have the first couple albums on CD, you don't need this,
No.
If you have Killers and you have Iron Maiden, why would you need this one? So basically, yeah. So I basically just felt like I got ripped off. And it's a good thing that I just bought this one because they had one that's called The Many Faces of Metallica. And I forgot The Many Faces of My Freaking Ass. I don't know. They had all kinds of different bands. But this is the only one I picked up because I was going to pick up the other ones. But good thing I did not. Yeah. Dave says, I have both of those CD sets. Nice. Yeah. Fucking for shit, though, right, Dave? I mean, it's like, come on now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Dave, did Dave hear about Jello Biafra? Jello Biafra from Dead Candies? He had a stroke. Had a stroke from high blood pressure. And I guess they said he's responding well to therapy. They said that he's doing so good that almost like, he's almost back to complete normal with just some weakness on his right hand side. But they said he should be back at it pretty soon. Yeah, he said that what happened was in the middle of the night, he said he got up. He saw I had to go pee. And I got up in my left leg. His right leg. His right leg just like gave out on him. And he was like, what the fuck? And he fell down. And he went to go stop himself with his right arm. And his right arm was dead. And he just hit his face. He was like, what the hell? And they're like, he's like, oh my God, I had a freaking stroke. And I didn't even freaking know it, That's scary that like strokes could be like not painful and you don't even know you have one.
Yeah.
Because I've heard of that shit before. I've heard of like, the story of like some people, like one lady said that she had got up to feed her baby. Her baby was crying and she said she got up to feed the baby. And she said she went to go get up and her whole right side just felt like heavy, and like it was like, what the hell? And she couldn't move her arm or anything. Her husband was like, what's wrong? She's like, I don't know. He's like, your face is drooped. She had a stroke. Didn't even know it. Crazy shit.
Wow. That is crazy.
Yeah, well, glad to hear he bounced back. Most people don't. Yeah, there's my friend Jan. She had a stroke, and they said that the stroke that she had, that some of the nurses were coming back and forth saying they weren't expecting it. They told her when she left the hospital, one of the nurses said, you know what, it was kind of touch and go there for a minute. I don't mean to scare you, but there was a couple of days I came in and I didn't think you were going to be here. I was like, she was like, I thought you were going to go. But she's doing great. She's already back freaking jogging and shit.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, she's like and I was like, that's scary. She's a fucking fitness freak. She's always been the best of health, my friend Jen. And
but it goes to show what my dad said was wrong. You could be the healthiest person in the world and you could still have a stroke or have a heart attack or have cancer. They don't discriminate.
Well, that is scaring the shit out of me because, like, you end up seeing, like, what movie I was watching the other day. I'm always fucking comparing things to movies, even though movies are complete fiction. They're not true. But I was watching that Trainspotting, the second movie. And Ewan McGregor, is in great shape, and he's like jogging. He's a jogger. He's a this, he's that. And they show him in the movie. He ends up having a fucking heart attack. And I just end up thinking, I'm like going, fuck, if someone who's fit like that could have a heart attack, what fucking chance do I have? I'm like going, damn. My grandpa was majorly diabetic. He was having strokes about every 6 months or so. Must have had about 10 or more before he passed. Were those the mini strokes? What do they call them? The
EIAs.
Yeah. But what's the full name? Something schism or whatever.
Ischemic attack.
Yeah, ischemic something. Yeah. Tricker, a few weeks ago, my car was in the shop, so I took the bus and got off. My right leg buckled and went under my body. I thought I broke my leg. See, that's something that's the type of shit that happens when you have a stroke. It's like all of a sudden your leg just like gives out.
Like me, I was freaking out the other couple weeks ago when my right arm was in so much pain. I don't know where the hell that came from, and that freaked me the fuck out.
Well, they usually say when it comes to your heart or a heart attack, it's supposed to be on the left-hand side. But the thing that I've been reading more and more is when it comes to women, all bets are off. Because women have heart attacks in all kinds of different ways.
Yeah, well, it was like my shoulder area right here. I couldn't move it up. And I was kind of freaked out. And the doctor said, well, I think you have a rotator cuff.
Yeah.
I was freaked out. I was thinking, oh, no, I have a heart attack if I die. Tell Dusty that,
Well, I had a doctor one time like tell me I was having the same thing problem, left-hand side rotator cuff, and I was like scared too. I was like going, oh, because the pain was radiating down my arm.
Yeah.
And I was like going, okay, this is it. I'm going to go in there. The doctor's going to tell me this is it. And I was just like, give it to me straight, dog. Give it to me straight. He's all, you have arthritis in your shoulder. I was like, oh, okay. Well, he's all, you got to take it easy.
I mean, like there's everything, anything and everything can scare people. Mm-hmm. But I was watching 2020 tonight. Mm-hmm. And you know what? Sometimes when I watch 2020, I get freaked out and I lock my doors and I lock my window in my room because those shows scare me sometimes.
Okay, well, that's a bit
scenario. The scenario sometimes, depending on the scenario. But,
I mean, the thing is, like, during the 80s, though, 2020 was like a total fucking, like, fear fest, if you really think about it. You know, oh no, I had half of his body paralyzed, forced himself to go back and forth, dragging his body across the living room. He looked better just in time to get hit again.
wow.
Mm.
Yeah, that happened to my uncle, too. The first stroke didn't take him out, but the second stroke did.
Mm.
You got the kids. They're providing the background noise.
Can you hear the kids back there?
Yeah.
Isn't that ridiculous how loud they are?
Yeah.
And I've been having the same problem, and the manager does not do anything about it. You know, like I said, I hate to be that old fucking man who's out there yelling. There it goes again. They go out there and they play soccer. They think it's a fucking soccer stadium out here in the courtyard. And they kick that ball so hard, it hits my fucking window. It hits my fucking door. It hits the wall. And I mean, when it hits, it's like, boom. You know, and I'm just like, I'm going to go out there one of these days. I'm going to be out there with a fucking, like, pen or something. Yeah. And I'm going to fucking start popping soccer balls.
I mean, on a good note, you know, Amoeba, every once in a while, they will drop signed copies of things, right, on their Instagram. So today I saw that they had dropped a signed copy of the new signed album from Josh Groban's new album, right?
Oh, no.
No. Hey, you have people that you're passionate about. You've been fans for 20 plus years.
It was fun. Bye, people.
And,
I'm just kidding.
Anyways, he had his Hollywood Walk of Fame. He had a star that was near the music store, so he went in and signed like about five or six albums. And oh my God, what am I gonna do with you? I want to wring your neck. Guys,
wait. Is she done? Is she done about the Groban?
You can mute yourself.
You
want to mute yourself? Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Anyways, I couldn't make it to the store today. So I was like, we have it online. So that was pretty cool because Amoeba will get artists that will come in and they will give them a pen and they'll sign their albums and they'll announce on their page, we got signed down from such and such artist. You could, buy it online or you could get it in the store, which is pretty cool. I don't know a lot of record stores that do that.
At least it was like, I'm going to run down to Amoeba and wait in line for it.
No, I didn't. No, I got it. No, I got it online. They had it online. Okay. Because, for me to go to Amoeba, it will take me almost 2 hours to get there because I got.
They weren't sold out?
No, you know how many buses it takes me to get to Amoeba? It takes me 2 buses to get there and then 2 buses to go home.
Oh, so basically it takes you 2 chubby fingers to get there? Not 1 chubby finger, but 2 chubby fingers.
Look,
I got some pretty chubby fingers myself, so.
Mike, I know you like Josh Groban, Mike, but, most of the people who listen to Josh Groban, Mike, are women and grandmas.
Women and grandmas. Moo! I mean, old Mr. Rick Pop Art Soccer. Old Mr. Rick Pop Art Soccer. I know, man. It's just like, come on now. Enough's enough with these kids out here. Just, damn. There's a new hire in the back doing the Groban scribe. It's an auto pen. There you go.
Yeah, well, but the thing about it is Amoeba now even does their own pressings, right? So they recently have announced that they're doing a pressing of Paul McCartney's new album. And they're doing a listening party. And I'm thinking to myself, does this man need more pressings of his albums? How many more pressings do you need of Dungeon Lake or whatever it's called?
Who was it we know that, and I know, somebody was telling me, somebody told us, remember when I said, he's going to do all kinds of fucking press in that record. He's going to fucking make it Paul McCartney 3 Part 2. And it was like, no, he's not going to do, whoever it was turned around and said, no, he's not, I don't even remember who it was. Said, no, that's not the way he's going to do it. And it's starting to fucking turn out that way.
Well,
he's like doing the same fucking thing.
He's doing a yellow pressing, right? Amoeba, this is not the first time that Amoeba has done pressings of other artists' album specialty pressings. So this is interesting because I have no fucking desire to buy that album. I've heard the song. Yeah, it's a great, lovely tune, but it's like him and Taylor Swift and all those other people that overdo it with their pressings. It's like, stop. You don't need 10 plus pressings of one album. You don't.
DJ Vinyl Vertigo, hello, welcome to the room. DJ. Yeah, it's freaking crazy. I mean, it's just, it's like, I mean, the thing is that he's like depending on those people who are going to,
Yeah.
go out and buy every single variant. He's depending on those people.
Nothing's
It
wrong.
really is.
No, there's nothing wrong with listening to Groban. You're just how do I put this nicely, Mike? I'll put it nicely and it's going to get me canceled. You're the only guy I know within my Groban sphere who is not of a certain demographic that listens to him.
Around here, these parts, we call him Groban.
No, I'm just saying.
Groban.
I'm just saying, Mike.
There you go.
I'm saying, Mike, you're not.
Star Trekker said, "Isn't there a Walmart exclusive of that Paul McCartney album?"
There probably is.
You're probably joking, but you know what? I'm going to tell you something. You know there is. Michael, you know there is.
I mean, everybody's got exclusive. And you know who's probably going to have an exclusive for sure? The top 5 would be, they'll have exclusives Amazon. Their web store exclusive. There's going to be an indie store exclusive. There's probably going to be like some Walmart exclusive, maybe even a bar. Everybody and their grandma is going to. And then in the UK, they have HMB. So you could probably expect an HMB exclusive. I mean, this is going to sound horrible. No offense to McCartney fans or no offense to Beatles fans. Yeah.
But I was given that Christmas when McCartney 3 came out. I think it's just that it was one of those records and my daughter ended up getting me one. And I think it was just because she probably might have gone into the record store and said, I'm trying to find a record for my father, blah, blah, blah. And more than likely, the guy behind the counter was like, is your dad old? He'll probably want this. All the old guys are buying this. So I ended up with a copy of McCartney 3. But the thing is, I've never, ever opened it. So I've never even, I think I tried listening to it once. I tried streaming it.
Yeah.
But I've never listened to my McCartney 3.
Nope. You're right, Dave. There's nothing wrong with Groban. It doesn't like, the thing about Josh Groban is, Josh Groban, when I went to see him, I saw him 15 years ago.
You actually went to go see him?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Look, you know what? I was there and I was like I was in close to the front row and there was these grandmas standing up and they were dancing.
Throwing those grandma panties on the stage?
I'm sure Josh Groban.
Let
me tell you the type of people that go to Josh Groban concerts. And I don't take this the wrong way. Grandmas, young fans, middle-aged women, and gay men. That's who like Josh Groban. Gay men. You're an exception to the rule, Mike. You're an exception to the rule. I don't know too many straight men going to proudly say they see Josh Groban.
You know what? I got to say that I got to side with DJ Von Vertigo here. Groban kind of dull to me. Exactly the same thing with me. He's very dull to me, very vanilla. But he's talented. I will not deny the guy's talent. It's not like he's like one of those artists where if somebody was to play it, I would be completely like out of my mind, fucking like, I got to get away from this freaking, music. I can be like, okay, yeah, that's great. But as far as for me, would I go out and buy it? No.
I'm glad that both of you can acknowledge the fact that he has some talent. What I hate is when people say they hate an artist, but they won't acknowledge the fact that an artist has some degree of talent to.
They hit my door again with a fucking soccer ball.
Oh, you want me to come over there? Because I will. Hey, kids.
All these kids out there think they're fucking Lionel Messi out there or some shit.
Hey, you hear me on it? You hear me, kids? I'll come over there and I'll give you Asian Kung Fu. They
can't hear you. They say you're on headphones. You're just making my ears hurt. You're not doing anything for them. So.
Sorry.
Trucker said, this is how bad new artists are now. All the charts and ticket sales are from guys in their 80s. Speaking of something like that, or speaking of music sales, I belong to this group on Facebook. And it's music CDs and cassettes sales. It's basically a group that's not just, because you usually have a lot of groups on there where it's just people want to show off their CDs, show off their records, show off what they have. This one actually you can sell. It's approved through the admin. Well, this guy gets on there and he's just total freaking bonkers, man. He's got like these stacks of CDs, right? And the thing is, he's got like more modern music. He has like, My Chemical Romance, stuff like that, which actually My Chemical Romance is not that fucking modern anymore.
No.
Not anymore. So he's like trying to sell these stacks of like Hawthorne Heights. what I would consider good stuff. I would pay maybe like $3, $4, $5 a piece for them. But he's got like a couple of stacks of them, blah blah blah, whatever. So he turned around and said, "Okay, I have these like 4 big stacks of CDs, about this high, about yay high," and he says, "I want $2,000 for them." People are like, "Are you fucking high? $2,000?" Yeah, for like, so well, like common. Hawthorne Heights, Marilyn Manson. Basically, they're all a lot of very common CDs that you get for like $3, $4, or $5.
Probably
that's how much you can afford to use. But he wanted to sell them all for $2,000, and he was adamant that you will never get this collection together like this, where someone's selling a lot like this, and da da da. And I was like, bro, and all of us were kind of attacking him in there. We're going, bro, those are like, you'll get like maybe $200 for that whole thing from a person who's going to resell it, because they're going to want to make a little bit of profit. But from someone like me, I said, I'll be honest, I would give you probably like $300 or $400 for it, because all those CDs, I'm going to probably, integrate them into my collection. I'm going to keep them. I'm not going to resell them, So I said, someone who's not going to resell them, $300, $400. Someone who's going to resell them, probably like $200. And he was like, no, these are worth so much. He really thought that he had gold, and that's starting to become the attitude now. Is that now that's the way CDs are going. CDs are starting to go the way of vinyl now. People are starting to like think that they can get like gold prices for them. So. Dusty, do you remember that scene in Pretty in Pink where Andrew McCarthy's character asks Molly Ringwald about a record? She tells him it's hot. Oh, yeah, it was Steve Lawrence.
Yeah.
Steve Lawrence. So, what do you think of this record? She saw Smoking Hot.
Well,
Smoking Hot.
That indeed did happen. Mike, I got you to Greta Van Fleet, which reminds me they're doing music again. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
They're finally making a new album. It's been a hot minute.
Vertigo said, Hiss, the Golden Messenger's release is pretty good.
Question for you.
Sounds good.
Dusty dog?
No, I have chihuahuas. I have 2 chihuahuas and I have cats. So, no, I don't have a big old killer dog. I could probably end up putting Lisa on a leash and get her out there.
Yeah, but the dog might want to bite my big ass. So, yeah, be careful.
Well, I mean, when you came over, my dogs kind of ran from you. They didn't want to. They weren't afraid.
Well, but then they're
chihuahuas, though.
Yeah, but then the cat kind of liked me. The cat got used to me.
Tigger, my cat Tigger, he loved you. Tiggle Wiggles. Yeah, he was so happy to meet him. Grayson hid. Binks, he kind of hid too.
Well, because I'm a new person to them, and I don't come. That was my first time over there, and they're probably just territorial because once they see me enough, they're gonna be like, "Oh, I want to hide away from her." Anyways,
Lisa got me into Greta Van Fleet. I had heard something's going on with Greta Van Fleet. What is going on?
They're doing new music.
They're doing new music because somebody, I don't know if it was just clickbait. Was it the Professor of Rock?
Yeah,
who did something like there was a problem with Greta Van Fleet or something. Something was going on
Jake from Greta Van Fleet also has another band called Mordor, or Mordor.
Okay.
But the thing about it is, the last album they did was in 2023. So it's been 3 years since they did. Because usually a band does an album every 3 years.
Yeah.
In some bands they take 5 years to do an album. Kevin Parker, looking at you. But yeah, I'm just saying. I think the thing about it is good that we're getting new music.
Yeah.
For people who have been, because I've been following them since 2017. I got I have one of their albums that actually is out of print. I bought it at Amoeba, of all places, and now it's out of print, and it goes for a pretty penny. But it's good. It was kind of cryptic. I thought they had broken up, so I took to my TikTok and I made a little short, and I was like, "Did Greta Van Fleet break up?" And then they announced, "No, we're doing new music," and I was like, "You guys left a very cryptid post on your Instagram, leading fans to believe you broke up." I was like, "Not cool."
You should put should Greta Van Fleet break up? I mean, I've heard so much shit about them. It's like I've heard, a lot of people saying, "Oh, that they were Led Zeppelin ripoffs. They're a Led Zeppelin tribute band." I've heard so much shit about them, but. When I listened to their album, it's like, was I kind of biased because I had heard so much shit about them before really listening to one?
Thank you, Hop Frog.
I kind of was, but...
I wanted to make it kind of like clickbaity when I made the because I just wanted to have something people would not expect for a banner. I didn't want to do this typical us with records because that's so cliche. So I thought let's put us on a roller coaster.
Us on a roller coaster would not be clickbaity because I know that people know there's no fucking way you're gonna get my fat ass on a roller coaster.
No, you're not gonna get my.
I thought I would fit on a fucking roller coaster.
You know what? You're not gonna get my ass on a roller coaster. You know I have anxiety when it comes to roller coasters. You're not gonna get my ass on a roller coaster.
You don't get on roller coasters.
People are like, you know what's the thing I watched today, guys? Speaking of roller coasters, I watched this thing on KTLA 5. Or KTLA. It was about adult Disney people, the ones who go to Disneyland and spend all the money.
Oh my god! Yeah.
You know what they said? They said that some of them spent an average of 70,000.
70 what a year or
and I don't know, maybe over the past 5 years. But the thing about it is, when you think about it, going to Disneyland itself is just very expensive. Very expensive. The last time I went to Disney, I was very lucky. I don't know if they still do it, but you can have someone who works there and they will get you in for free.
Only so many times a year, though. They can only do it so many times a year. They can't do it all the time.
No, not all the time, but do they still do it?
Yeah, they can do it so many times a year. We were trying to get my youngest daughter, to get a job there because it was like, dude, just get a job there. You get in for free. Because I know employees can get in for free all the time. They don't have any limit, but family members, stuff like that, it's like only so many times a year I think they can do it. Let me see. Hot Fox said it was good, Daniel. You don't like them Star Trek? I said, no. Vinyl Vertigo, I love roller coasters.
No,
I used to love roller coasters too myself, Yeah.
But I just thought that was very interesting. They said the thing that people spend a lot of money on when it comes to Disneyland, the top two things are blind boxes and pins. A lot of people are spending money on that.
GJ Vinyl Vertigo said that's because of Disney's gay days. I fucking love the gay days. I'm not gay, I'm a breeder. Sorry, I'm a breeder, but I fucking love going gay night. It's fucking fun. It's so much fun.
I mean, there's like so many cool things. I was like recently looking up the price to go to Disney, and it costs
too much.
No, it costs 200. It depends on the day. Like some days it's 170, and then other days it's 278.
I had you already know about my ex-girlfriend, the ex. She freaking was obsessed with Disney. And that was her thing, is that we always had to have Disney passes. Always. She had me there so much. When I was those years I was with her, I was at Disneyland so damn much it made me sick. It's like, and I'm sorry, but Disneyland's one of those places. I don't know if it's just because I'm a cranky old man at the end, but at the end of the night, I really was like, when they have you walking down, you're like, you're getting herded out. I really felt like just running behind people and socking them in the back of the head to get out of there.
I mean,
I hated it.
I know, I get it, but there's one reason why I'd actually would go back to Disney, just to go again, because I like that they have a Star Wars, area, and I've never been, and I'm a Star Wars nerd, so I like to go back just for that. But I'm also a person that really, I agree with you. Too much of Disneyland. I couldn't do that, because to tell you the honest truth, I'm not much of a theme park person. I have to go walk all around that theme park, and then I have to go and buy some expensive ass food at Disneyland. I'd rather just waste my money on other things than buy their expensive ass food. Well,
I mean, the thing that was so great about having passes was that when you have passes, you're able to leave anytime. So there are advantages to being a Southern California resident and having passes. Now, we had passes a couple of years, me and the kids, and their mother had passes for a couple of years, where it was great because, after school, they could go ahead and go to Disneyland for a couple of hours. They ride whatever. They didn't have to be like so stressed about like, they spent too much time in line for this one ride. Also, I think it's great about having passes. You don't have to eat there. You can leave. I mean, you can leave anyways, but you just go ahead and leave and be like, okay, well, we're done for the day, or just go get something to eat or whatever.
That is my favorite ride, DJ Vertigo. But you see, for people like me who don't live in the area, because I live like about 30 to 40 minutes away from Disney. So for me, it would make no sense to have a pass because
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The thing about it is my sister has a year pass to Not Very Farm, and she was telling me how much she spent for it.
Those are pretty inexpensive, though.
No, you know how much she spent?
How much
Let me tell you guys, 170.
for the whole year? 170 is pretty cheap.
It is, and my
You
sister
know.
took my sister took her daughter, and now her son is
Mhm.
old enough. And I was thinking to myself, man, I do want to go visit Knott's Berry Farm one more time.
You
Like,
know, 170 for the whole year is pretty cheap as opposed to like,
it's
Disneyland, where if
2,000.
you want, yeah, it's like a couple of $1,000. And even with a couple of $1,000, you have all kinds of blackout days. You still can't go on Christmas. You still can't
Yeah.
go on Thanksgiving. You have so many blackout days. And that was one of the things that we always paid extra. We paid extra for Thanksgiving because it used to be a small tradition that my family had that we would eat dinner and then we'd go to downtown Disney and we'd go to Disneyland for a couple of hours. It became a tradition. Like after dinner, is what we do. So that way we didn't just sit there and sleep. We'd be able to walk off some food. We would do that. So,
Oh my
um,
God, I feel for you, Dave. As a kid, I remember one day my family left me at home because they were going to
that's
visit
some
a family.
fucked up
They came,
shit.
oh my God, and
That's some fucked up shit.
Mickey, that's oh my God,
At least it's
know,
traumatized. Like, at least like I'm fucking traumatized.
I'm not traumatized. I just think that's really fucked up because I mean, when you think about it, when your parents take one kid over another kid to a theme park and they leave you at home.
The way I see it is, if you cannot afford to take all your kids, just
Don't take
don't
anybody.
take any. Don't take anybody. Yeah. And that I don't know. Maybe does that sound shitty? Maybe some people might think that sounds shitty, but
Well, that's
the
very
way I see
true.
it.
That's very true, Kimba. Even though keep in mind that you don't have to. Yeah, that is true. But the thing about it is, even though I don't have to pay for room,
Uh
travel,
huh.
and flight, I still, after a while, like I have like a threshold of how long I could, stand to be at Disney.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, being there all day, I could not do that. I'm like, for me, it's like go for a few hours to Disney, and I'm fine with that. I ride
Mm-hmm.
all the rides, get my food, and then I go home at a normal time. Some people they like to stay at Disney all day, and I'm like, I'm not that kind of person. I could.
That's one thing I can say honestly, because I can honestly say I'm a very obese man. But I have never let it, even at this age, 54, I still don't let it stop me. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I just have a high tolerance for not being comfortable or being in pain. I don't know. But I will push myself. Like if somebody said, let's go to Disneyland now, I may be kind of like, ugh, but I'll go, and I'll still push myself for the whole day, and go and do it, so
It's not that I can't push
yeah.
myself for the whole day. It's just me and having to be in one place for a long time just kind of overwhelms me. Like,
I was like,
yeah, it just overwhelms me. That's why I can't because like it's the same with parties.
mm-hmm,
When I go to parties for family members,
mm-hmm,
like I tell my sister, like the max I want to spend at a party is an hour to 2 hours. Any more than that, I
mm-hmm.
get so overwhelmed.
I
So,
mean, I see the point that Kiba has there. A Midwest family pays several grand just to get there.
yep.
Yeah, it's true. Just in flight tickets, just to fly there, and then on top of that, like she said, of course, to get a hotel
I
room,
mean, yeah.
get to eat, then not to mention all the other little expenses you have, like all the toiletries, all getting a new swimsuit, getting new clothes, all that other stuff. I mean, yeah. So yeah, it's true. We don't have that's one, but you know what? That's one of the reasons why we pay such high rent, I guess, here is because that we pay in other ways.
I mean,
we pay in
you're
other
right.
ways.
You're right,
Yeah.
Kimba, you're right, Kimba, because if I ever had the funds, I would go to Disney World in
Mm-hmm.
Florida, and I would, of course, have to pay for a car, travel expenses, and whatever else. But the reason why I don't go to Disney World, because I'm very fortunate to live here in California and we have Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why I haven't been back to Disneyland, because I think if I was to take me, Angela, her kids, her husband,
Mm-hmm.
Danielle, and her boyfriend, it would be crazy. And I'm okay because I've been to Disneyland so many times.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very fortunate. When my dad was younger, he used to get tickets for cheap because he was a
Mm-hmm.
teacher. So teachers would get discounts. to go to Disneyland. So I've been many times. So it's
Star Trekker says we have Busch Gardens and King's Dominion here. DJ Ron Vertical says I like Busch Gardens here in Florida. Nice.
We also have that other park that nobody really goes to. I wonder if it's still in business. Six Flags.
Star Trekker. Hot Frog, did they ever take you to the Grand Canyon and then drive off, leaving you behind? And then he had to go ahead and search for his family across the whole United States, and had to look up license plates of a certain car, certain make that they had, and that's the reason why he had to shave his head, because he had a wig that fused with his skull.
One time we
Kitty?
One time we got pissed off at my dad, and we left him behind and went to the slots in Vegas to go and gamble. And we left him in the hotel. We're like, my mom's like, I want to gamble. My dad left my mom. My mom left my dad at the casino.
I remember the first time I ever went to Vegas. The first time I had turned 21, my grandfather took me to Vegas. I had never been to Vegas before then, because they used to go back and forth on bowling trips.
Yeah.
All the time. They used to go back and forth on bowling trips. They never took me because I wasn't I never got into the tournaments for bowling. I was a mediocre bowler, in my teens. So the first time we went, and I turned 21, my grandfather turned around and went, okay, well, it's Vegas, this is the way it works. So I went to one of the slot machines, and I had just put in $1, And when I put the dollar in, talk about Las Vegas was trying to be evil and suck me in. I pull the fucking lever, boom! I end up hitting the jackpot, $150. Not a whole lot, but for me, I was like, I put in $1 and I got $150 back. I was like, Jesus Christ! I grabbed the money like I stole something, and I wanted to run with it. I'm like, oh my God, give me $150 on a dollar. And then my grandfather was like, Grandpa. I'm like, look, I want $150, and he's like, oh, que pendejo. If you put 5 in, you'd have 2,500 right now.
The thing about it is, we're going to the casino this week because it's Mother's Day, and my mom wants to go to the casino. So we're gonna be going to the casino. My mom took out money at the bank. But guys, remember this great time in history when this happened? Remember when Fabio got hit in the face with a bird? That was very bird. I remember that his nose was bloody. I was laughing my butt off as a kid. And no way, I wasn't a kid. I think I was a teenager or a young adult. Now looking back at it, it was pretty funny. You gotta admit.
Oh my God, I just read this right now. Dave, nope, but I did get left at the airport when I was 6. I was either going to see my mom or coming back. I was waiting at the ticket counter and the workers were pissed. Oh my God, that's so like Home Alone.
What's the two biggest anxieties is your parents leaving you somewhere, or when you're in the line at a grocery store as a kid and your mom's like, I'll just go back and I'll go get some stuff and I'll leave you here with the grocery cart. You're sitting there and you're like, oh my God. You're like 8 or 9. You're like, how the fuck am I going to pay for these groceries? If my mom doesn't come back by a certain time, I'm going to have to go and take the cart out. And
she better hurry up. I'm going to have to let the person in back of me go ahead of me. And they got a fucking cart full. And
that as a kid, that happened. That happened quite a bit. My mom can't deny it.
It happened a few times.
Mickey Mouse gave me a virus on a Disney cruise ship.
Did you get the hantavirus? Have you been hearing about that shit?
Yeah, the hantavirus.
Man, we're screwed.
We're fucked. And if you're out there, Bill Gates, you are some dirty fucker.
Did you watch that video that I sent you the link to, the spill video?
I watched it.
I mean, I want to be very okay, well, this is just, conspiracies, whatever else. But goddamn. When I saw that video, I was like, really? I mean, they were really talking about eugenics and everything else. And I was like, wow. I mean,
I was watching it at Vaughn's. My mom was looking at me and she's like, what are you doing? My biggest anxiety was to dream about going off to the first day of school naked.
You didn't go to the first day of school naked there, Trekker? In your diaper?
I had a shout match. My stepmom in high school had to walk home at 11 at night in November. I just checked. It was about 16 miles. I walked home with no idea where I was, and I did get home. Damn. Damn. I mean, damn. That's all I can say about that. Damn, your stepmom.
Oh, my God. I remember the one time I almost freaking got arrested and had to walk home, getting into a fight with the kid's mother. We were probably like, this is like 1994. So I was probably like 21, 22, something like that. Well, anyways, we were inside the nightclub, and me and her got into this huge argument about this one chick that I used to see before I ever met her. Had nothing to do with her. And anyways, I guess what had happened was me and her were arguing, and she went to go sit up on us. She went to go sit up on a bar stool. And when she got up on the bar stool, I don't know if her butt, big, huge butt. I don't know if it missed, but she like kind of fell, and she fell off the bar stool and boom, hit the floor. And I guess they thought that I had pushed her off the bar stool. So security grabs me, and she leaves because she's embarrassed. Because we know everybody. So she was embarrassed. She's like, son of a bitch. So she leaves, and security's got me, and they call the cops. She fucking gets in the car and splits and leaves me there. I'm like, what the fuck? So the cops come, and finally they look back. They look at the freaking cameras. Like, oh, he was nowhere near her, whatever. So anyways, they let me go, and I had to walk all the way home. And by this time, me and her had already been living together because we'd already had Michael. So we're living together. So I freaking turned around, and it must have been like maybe like I don't know how many miles away. It was a pretty long walk. And when I got home, all huffing and puffing, I'm like, and she's in bed all freaking snoring away. I was like, God damn it! I was about to kick the bed. Oh,
I mean, Rudy wants to know. Rudy wants to know how was 99. I'm assuming he means the year 99.
You mean my 99th lover? She was fine. She was all right. I'm just kidding.
Or does he mean 99 red balloons? You know what? I agree with this.
99 left balloons?
I agree with this, Trekker. Unsolved Mysteries should maybe contact Hop Frog. He's probably got some unsolved mysteries in his family.
Yeah.
After school specials. I about maybe 3 months ago was binge watching all of those after school specials.
You know what I found myself binge watching recently?
What?
My daughter, she was really into Goosebumps from the 90s.
Yeah.
And I freaking found them all for download. I found all 4 seasons.
That's my childhood right there.
Yeah, so I turned around and I watched one of them because I was just like, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and check it in the media center and make sure it works, Yeah. So I watched the first one, and I'll be goddamn, it freaking sucked me in. And I was like, okay, I'll watch another one. I watched another one. I watched it. Well, I mean, back in the day, I used to love Tales from the Dark Side and Dark Room. So it was like monsters. So it kind of like sucked me in like that. And I was like, oh, even though it was way cheesier. Yeah.
I mean, I used to come home from school. I used to come home from elementary school, and I would watch them. Those were my things I like to do. Elementary school, and I think it was on when I was in high school. So I'd watch them all the time. Come home from school and turn on the TV. Channel 11 had the Goosebump show.
Oh, look at Hot Frog says, my folks were trying to get me on milk cartons, but I kept finding my way home. He was the original Joe Dirt.
He's the original Joe Dirt.
Speaking of, I don't know why I get this thought comes into my head every time I clean the litter box. I go to clean the litter box, and I always think of that scene where Kid Rock is like driving past Joe Dirt, and he like kicks up the dirt in his face. And he's like, oh, what you doing, dirt? And I don't know, for some reason, every time I clean the litter box, I think of that scene. I always tell myself, you know what? I'm going to watch Joe Dirt. I haven't watched Joe Dirt in a long time. And I never do. See, I've been hanging out with you too long, Lisa. My brain's starting to work like yours.
Oh, you're now having a spectrum brain or ADHD brain.
I guess. It's catchy. People say that the tism isn't catchy, but I think it's... I think it's contagious.
To tell you the truth, they say, I don't know if it's true, they say that kids who have autism, somebody in the family has autism, and it's like a family it's how do I explain it? It's passed down. I don't know if that's true, but that's what they say.
You know what my favorite episode of Tales from the Dark Side is? It was the one with Christian Slater, and it's called A Case of the Stubborns. Also, Data from Star Trek The Next Generation, he was in it. And what it was is it's supposed to be this old man who's fucking stubborn as shit. He's like, oh, God damn it, you're not going to tell me what I can do.
Someone like that.
So he fucking dies. He fucking dies in the middle of the night, and he won't accept that he's dead. So he's fucking dead, and it opens up with Christian Slater and his mom are sitting at the table going, oh, well, Grandpa had a good run, blah, 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 and they're talking about it, and, so I can't wait till the mortician comes and picks him up, blah, blah, he's pushing up daisies now, he's with a good Lord. And all of a sudden he comes walking down the stairs and like, what the fuck? He's all, where's dinner? And she's like, "You're fucking dead." Well, she didn't say you're fucking. So you're dead. What are you talking? It was crazy. So anyway, they go through this whole thing, trying to tell him he's dead. And he's like, "No, I'm not. You guys are crazy telling me I'm dead. I know when I'm dead." He's like turning blue. Each episode, each like scene, he's like turning more blue and rotting more, and he's starting to stink. And I guess finally what happens is Christian Slater, he was like a kid, maybe like 11 or 12, goes to this witch doctor. And she turns around and she goes, "Oh, I know your grandfather, stubborn as all hell, blah, blah. Give him this, and this will give him the proof he needs that he's dead." So she turns around, he puts it down by, the table. He puts it on the table next to his food, blah, 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 whatever. So he comes down to eat, and next thing you know, he turns around and he like pulls out his napkin, goes like that. And it was just pepper. That's all it was pepper. And he's like, "God dang it," and he sneezes into the pepper, into the napkin. And I guess he turns around and goes, "Oh, no fool like an old fool. They don't show you what happens." And he goes upstairs and says, "I'm going to go ahead and lay my burden down." Goes upstairs and finally dies. And I guess what happened was with the pepper, he sneezed his whole freaking nose and face into the freaking into the napkin. Crazy stuff, I just
Lisa.
Yeah, there you go, Dave says, "I remember he blows his nose and it comes off." There you go.
I totally remember. I totally remember Hey Jude and Salute Your Shorts. Salute Your Shorts was on in '92. I forgot what year Hey Jude is. Belle. But one of the actors of Salute Your Shorts is also in a band called Ryo Killy.
Really?
Yeah. And I remember Are You Afraid of the Dark? Oh my God. I used to love watching Are You Afraid of the Dark. It was my shit too. When we had cable, because when my mom bought us cable, you best believe I was taking advantage of Nickelodeon and Disney. Because then my mom got rid of our cable. And then I was like, dang it, I don't have Nickelodeon and Disney anymore. My mom's like, cable, too much money. We're not getting it anymore. And then in 2004, she got it again for me. And I watched Jersey Shore.
Did you write an article? Want to watch Pet Sematary again? Been a while. The original or the new one? The new one I was really unimpressed with. I really did not like the remake.
Watch the original.
Yeah, the original was the best. I actually almost called Grayson Church because of that movie. But
I mean, that movie creeped me out. Also, Children of the Corn by Stephen King. The movie creeped me out. And then, what else they made? I think Cujo was also made into a movie. And Christine. And then there were some, like, of his newer books that were made into movies. But, yeah, Stephen King. He is the premier author of horror, man.
Original. Belle said, "Tales from the Dark Side, Goosebumps, Night Gallery." Like I told you, I was watching Goosebumps recently. I was watching, and it sucked me in. Tales from the Dark Side. There was also another show that was called Dark Room. It was with James Coburn. He was like the host to it or something like that.
I love James Coburn.
Yeah, and they only had like maybe like one season or two seasons. Each season was only, I think, like maybe like 8 episodes or something really short like that. But I remember that show. I was way into that one. They used to do like each episode it would be 2 different stories because Tales from the Dark Side was only one story, but Dark Room would do 2.
We also got to name the obvious other shows that were kind of bordering on the creepy stuff. I think also Twilight Zone, Tales from the Crypt.
Tales from the Crypt I didn't really get into.
I mean, I watched it, and I watched a lot of Twilight Zone. I like Twilight Zone. There's another show I'm thinking of. Is it The Outsiders? No, is Outer Limits? No, that's the sci-fi show, right? Outer Limits, I think, is sci-fi.
Yeah, Outer Limits. Actually, Outer Limits was the same thing. It was like an anthology show. It was actually, that one was pretty good too.
Yeah.
I had just recently watched an episode. I don't want to get into politics or anything like that, but I had recently watched an episode of The Twilight Zone, which they said doesn't really get aired too much, and it had what's his face? My mind's gonna go blank. My mind's gonna totally go blank now.
You can describe the guy. Maybe I can name him.
He was an easy writer.
Oh.
Dennis Hopper. I
thought you were going to say Henry Fonda.
No. Dennis Hopper. It was an episode from the 60s with Dennis Hopper. And what it was is he was trying to start a movement like Hitler. He was trying to start a fascist movement and stuff. And he was like going through this thing step by step, how he was trying to start this United States. Parallels to stuff that's going on nowadays. Very freaking crazily, eerily accurate. But this is like 1963 or 64, so crazy. Really good though. But it doesn't get aired, I guess, as much.
I've seen that show.
Those Nickelodeon shows were my jam. I really love the actors Pete and Pete. A lot of music stars guest appeared like R.E.M., Mark Scratch, Harry Potter. Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Blossom, Boy Meets World, Saved by the Bell is my shit.
Oh, I
want a 4K release. I want a 4K release.
Saved by the Bell. I love Boy Meets World, Blossom. I watched all of those shows. Mm-hmm. Those shows were all on Channel 5. No, except for Boy Meets World. That was on 7.
They were on Channel 4. That was TNBC. Come on now, Lisa.
No, Saved by the Bell was on 5. The reruns. That's how.
The reruns, yeah. But Saved by the Bell, when originally us old people realized it was like
the Teenage Witch was on Channel 5. I remember. Blossom was either Channel 5 or Channel 4. Boy Meets World was Channel 7. You remember TGI Friday?
Yes.
I mean, that was a great show. Boy,
did you find a vertical? My favorite horror was the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Now, are you talking about the 60s version, or are you talking about the one during the 70s? Because I like the one that was with Donald Sutherland. I really like the one with Donald Sutherland from the 70s. Not too much for the 60s one, but yeah, the 70s one. Probably because I was a little kid and I saw it and it scared the shit out of me. So, he's saying 60s. Okay.
George Takei. I remember that one.
Oh my.
Carrie, the original 70s film, is great. Callister explains it all. Love that. Trilogy of Terror with Karen Black Epic.
My son is still terrified of that little doll.
Don't get me started with that. I
like when he gets all, he goes, hey.
Boy Meets World Rock. There's an episode that really speaks to me. There's a lot of episodes of Boy Meets World that speak to me.
Yeah, actually, Dead Zone did see that one with Christopher Walken. It was an ongoing. He used to do an ongoing skit on Saturday Night Live of making fun of the Dead Zone. We're like,
I like Christopher Walken. He's got a very unique voice. It's him and John Malkovich. Should
where he'd grab people and he'd be like, and he'd freeze and be like, "You're gonna have a coffee with extra cream and extra sugar."
I like Family Matters to a certain extent. Full House is great. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, loved it. Watch every episode. Silver Spoons, and not so much.
Love Silver Spoons. Give Me a Break, loved it, because I had a freaking crush on Sam. Laura Jo Miller, I had a crush on her.
And Growing Pains I did watch a little bit of, but I just think, like, a lot of those shows did not really, tie me in. And Family Matters was great. But Steve Urkel was so annoying at times.
And Silver Spoons, I think the reason why I was so into Silver Spoons, everybody cry for me now. I want you all to cry for me. Everybody say, poor Dusty. I was having a lot of problems with, my dad wasn't really around as much as he should be.
Oh, I'm not going to cry.
So, Ricky Schroeder and his dad, that was kind of like, I was like, you cry for me. No, I'm just kidding. No, seriously though. Yeah, I think that's the reason why. Even to this day, I think I watch. It's almost like comfort food. There's certain shows that are almost like comfort food. Give me a break. Silver Spoons. I watch them when I don't feel good or I'm sick. Yeah.
I mean, if I think of any other comfort shows I like watching was
thank you, poor Dusty. Thank you.
My mom. My mom was really into. There were some shows my mom watched. I think my mom was really into Dallas at one point. And Dynasty.
Yes, Give Me a Break was good.
It's 11/27.
Did they ever prove, that sounds kind of fucking horrible saying prove, did it ever come out that Nell Carter was lesbian? Because that was the ongoing rumor. And they said that when she died, she had a partner. And I know that when they say partner back in the 80s, that meant a lover.
Yeah.
They just didn't say lover back in those days, or, domestic partner or whatever it is, So I'm wondering.
Mikey's the only person I know that has every Jesse and the Ripper CD. Oh, my John Stamos. Poor Dusty. I know. You know what? Sometimes when our family's not paying attention to us, we seek love in TV show dads. Like, because I remember as a kid, I loved Tim Allen's Home Improvement character. I thought, man, he's such a cool dad. I wish my dad was like him.
Did you cry watching the movie The Champ with a very little... If you didn't cry during The Champ, it's like you have no soul. I'm like, when he's like, oh, get up, champ. Get up, champ. Okay, I'm going to cry now. Stop, I got to get off. I got to get off.
Let me tell you what was my jam. Because you said Full House was Lisa jam. when John Stamos did that song Forever. Yeah, Forever.
Night Gallery movie with Joan Crawford. Wasn't it Joan Crawford's like last movie? She had been doing like all those cheesy like freaking like B movies, like horror films and stuff like that, which I own a lot of them because they were just fucking excellent. I love Joan Crawford.
Mike, speaking of Alfonso Ribeiro, I think like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was the last TV show that I saw him in, unless he's done other TV shows. I don't really know much about our Alfonso Ribeiro, but I know he's on Dancing with the Stars. He's like the host. But yeah, I loved him.
But you know, Alfonso Ribeiro basically got famous doing the Molly Ringwald. If you really think about it, that was Molly Ringwald's dance that he actually does.
Yeah.
But then they call it the Carlton. But it was Molly Ringwald's dance. It was like, you know, just like the other one that got popular for a while. Not popular, but people like, well, people from my generation say, like, when you go like this, they would say that was the Raj from What's Happening. You know, like that. It's like, that's the Raj. I don't think everybody fucking really knows that nowadays, but
no, but like everybody knows that. Everybody knows that him for that dance. I mean, it was so cheesy. He was dancing to Tom Jones, which is.
But it was Molly Ringwald's dance. I'm sorry, I'm gonna fucking die on that fucking hill.
Okay, you can die on that fucking hill.
I'm gonna die on that hill.
Nobody calls it Molly Ringwald's dance. They call it the Carlton. You can die on that fucking hill. Who else is gonna agree with you in the chat? Let's see. Anybody else agree with him?
I know. I like the Cosby Show, but it's that alcohol. Yes.
Oh, I love the Brady Bunch. Well, we love the Partridge Family here because we love P-Fam. Oh, you know, don't make me bring out the P-Fam, but look, we love the P-Fam here. We love the P-Fam.
Yeah, I mean, it was probably some kind of like, probably taken somewhat from that Bruce. I mean, I'm sorry, but it looks a lot like the Molly Ringwald. To me, it looks a lot like the Molly Ringwald. I like the Cosby Show with a sad outcome. That was actually very sad because I think the thing that was so great about the Cosby Show is that before that, every show that had African Americans in it was like they were in the struggle. You know, they were struggling. They were in the struggle. The only ones that were really exceptions were you had like, you know, the Jeffersons, that show 227, the Cosby Show. The Cosby Show is one of the first where, you know, what was it? He was what was he? A doctor? Was he a pediatrician or was he a doctor?
I think so. But the great
general practitioner, and she was a lawyer.
Yeah, that's the great thing about the Cosby Show is because they had a certain portrayal of African Americans on the show, and they portrayed them as struggling, you know, being poor, you know, trying to scrape by. And then when the Cosby Show came on, you see this very affluential,
upper middle class,
African American family with like 4 kids. And the thing about it is that show really, even though he is canceled, I do from time to time watch that show because that show
was still a great show. I mean,
it's still a great show. I mean, the scene where the funny part is where Claire is trying to get her husband to eat healthy, and he doesn't want to eat healthy, so you know Cosby is hiding his sub sandwiches. Like, I got you. And he's like, what? And, you know, he's like, oh, we can have a cake, Olivia. And he's like bringing out a big cake.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is that those were the kinds of problems they had. Like, you know, one of my favorite episodes was when Theo wanted that shirt that was by that designer.
Yeah.
And, you know, and even the thing that I thought was great about that show is that even though, you know, Bill Cosby and his wife had the money, you know, to give him that shirt and buy him that shirt without, you know, it being any problem, they still were like, no, I'm not going to give you that kind of money for that shirt. That's ridiculous. You know, you got to earn it. So he turns around and plays this game where he takes what the money he does have and he tries to make a designer shirt. He tries to have his sister make one, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Brock. Good Times was more believable, I think, because Good Times really portray what an African-American family was dealing with in the 70s. And it's a great show. I need to go visit that show again. But
you know,
it's very believable.
The projects they show on that show was Cabrini Green. Zephyr isn't Zephyr from Chicago?
Yeah.
So he would probably end up knowing about that. Probably. He would know. But yeah, it was supposed to be that Cabrini Green, which also was in Candyman, the original Candyman, was supposed to be one of the most dangerous projects there was. So basically, the projects they lived in was supposed to be like the most dangerous. So they said it was kind of like weird that they like showed that everything was so lighthearted and all of them were so safe and whatever, because
they're not.
And that we're that way.
But that's he brings up a good point. Regardless of race, that show did portray what it was like to live in like a not so great part of town or a not so great city.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, there was, the thing about that show is what I liked about it is it was a realistic show. It's what people were actually dealing with in the 70s. Because some shows they try to portray everybody as being I like realistic shows. And
Julia's on my list to watch. Diane Carroll was a beautiful lady. You want to know one of my favorite movies with her was oh my God, what was the name? The one that she was in with James Earl Jones. Claudine. Yeah. That is like, I love that movie. I watch that movie over and over again. It is such a glimpse into like 70s, the 70s welfare culture, like how they used to come to your house and check if you had a man in your house. They would look at your refrigerator and see if there was beer in the refrigerator. They would look at your, see if there was men's shoes or men's clothes. It's like, it's crazy because, they end up showing you how that era was. But, oh, my God, that movie was freaking awesome. James Earl Jones was awesome in that movie.
DJ Vertigo.
Speaking of Welcome Back, Carter, Hilton Jacobs was in that movie.
I've never seen the courtship of Eddie and his father, but you bring up a very good question I want to ask the people. Who was your first TV crush? His was Jodie Foster. Who was your very first TV crush? If you have to think about it. Yeah, everybody.
I'm telling you, it was that girl from Give Me a Break, Laura Jo Miller. Yeah. Her, and you know what? I kind of had a thing for Mindy Cohen, which actually I heard recently she's having some problems with that she had breast cancer and she won. She beat it. She was the chubby girl on Facts of Life.
Yeah.
So I was already a torta chaser then. I was already a chubby chaser. I was in my tortas already back then. So
my very first TV crush was Jonathan Taylor Thomas on Home Improvement.
Oh my God, Mary Hartman. I remember that show. It's supposed to be like that was an unusual show. It was like a soap opera comedy, during the 70s. It's like, but the freaking opening was like so irritating. Mary Hartman. My mom watched that religiously. So it was always on in the background.
Oh, yeah, Morticia Addams. I remember that.
Kelly Bundy was hot. Yes, Kelly Bundy. Now she's going through so much right now. She's like so sick. Kelly Bundy, Alyssa Milano. Yes. Renee Sands from Kids Incorporated.
Yeah, we all remember the first person that really, for me, I think, for me it was Jonathan Taylor Thomas for Home Improvement, and then also I like Joseph Gordon-Levitt from Third Rock in the Sun.
Up Cinderella Liberty was a good movie, and the Welfare Lady did come and check her whole house and what she was eating.
I love Charlie's Angel. Great show. The original, of course, not the movies with Drew Barrymore and was it Drew Barrymore or is it Lucy Liu? Who was in the remakes of Charlie's Angel? If anybody,
I think both of them, Drew Barrymore and Lucy Liu.
And there was somebody else too, because there's always three.
Dusty for me, the Dana Plato from that's another sad story.
Oh, when she passed away. Up Cinderella Liberty was a good movie. The Will Fair Lady did come and check her whole house, and she was eating. I've never seen that.
From Different Strokes, think about it. Like Todd Bridges is the only one who's left. Everybody else is gone.
Yeah,
they're Bridges, all gone.
Let's not hope he dies, Todd Bridges.
Lisa Bonet in A Different World, she was pretty hot. I hope you ever Wild Work.
Of course he does. This is Paulina. She has everything. Paulina, I'm sub to the Kids Incorporate channel. When I was young, I also really liked Justin Timberlake, and I also like Ryan Gosling from the Mickey Mouse Club.
I really like TV shows from the 70s. Yeah, with me, it's like, I think just about any TV show from the 1970s I can watch. There's one show that I used to love, which is like, you can't find it on streaming. You can't buy DVDs of it. Chico and the Man. I used to love Chico and the Man. It's like I have like a couple of compilations where they put like maybe 4 episodes on each disc. and there was only 2 of them that I was able to find. But I can't find it for streaming. I can't find it for download.
I think I sent you a link one time, but it might have been taken down by now. It was on Daily Motion.
Yeah,
that was like I don't want to say. I think that was one of his last roles, Freddie Prinze Sr. Because he got really young. And
well, I mean, I think it was his main role, main thing he really ever did. You know. Hey, when I used to love watching Emergency. Oh yes, Emergency. What was the name of those 2 guys? You're talking about the '70s show, right? I used to have like the fire helmet, and it was like a rubber gas mask, and it had like this big old tube. It was Emergency 51, I think, or something like that.
I mean, it's funny you mentioned that, Mike, because I binge watched Three's Company when they had the reruns. I thought Mr. Roper was like cool as hell. I thought he was a cool man, and then I like Jack, and then he had what, like 3 roommates over the course of the show.
Yeah. Well, they kept on having to replace the blonde.
Yeah, they did, and they kept having to replace her. But that show used to rerun on Channel 11. That's how I discovered it, because obviously I was not alive for the actual show. But let's see what else people are talking about. I was ready to ask you that question about Chico and the Man. Jose Feliciano did this. Yes, he did. Randy
Mantooth. I always got Randy Mantooth confused with the guy who was on Battlestar Galactica, and they were so many years apart. But I used to get them confused all the time when I was a kid. One day at a time. This is it. This is it.
Jack's best friend was Larry. Was my favorite. Yeah, Jack's best friend Larry. He was the womanizer of the show. That man was always getting mad pussy on that show.
I remember the Rockford Files. I used to love the Rockford Files too. That was one of those shows my mom used to watch constantly. Didn't really appreciate it until I was older. You know, then I would watch it. Grizzly Adams, never watched it.
I never really watched Grizzly Adams. You know, there were certain shows that my grandpa watched, and as I mentioned in past streams, my grandpa's show that he watched every week, we had to make sure we get home for it, was Columbo. He loved the shit out of Columbo. He loved the shit out of what was that? Perry Mason. Oh my God, we had to get home for those shows. If we didn't, because my grandpa had his specific shows that he watched, so I'd watch Columbo with him. I like Columbo. I mean, I have nothing bad to say about Columbo. In
Search of Leonard Nimoy. I used to watch that shit a lot, especially the one they did in the Amityville Horror. He did one in the Amityville house. That was a freaking awesome.
I was binge watching that too. Oh, Dragnet classic. I never watched it in its entirety. I've watched like bits and parts of Dragnet, but you know, Dragnet, Hill Street Blues.
I used to like Hill Street Blues. I watched a lot of Hill Street Blues, St. Elsewhere, stuff like that.
St. Elsewhere,
you know. Randy Mantooth was on an episode of, hey, what's up, Loser List? He was on an episode of Battlestar Galactica. Maybe that's where the confusion comes in.
I used to have a Firebird that a guy worked. I used to have a Firebird that a guy worked named Rocky. It looked like a car from the Rockford Files. If I worked with a person named Rocky, I would be like, man, he's badass. Having the name Rocky, I just think it's like such a cool name.
Let me see. DJ Rado Vertical says, anyone remember Get Christy Love? You're under arrest, sugar. No, but I remember the tagline. I remember that tagline. You're under arrest, sugar. But no, but I don't think I ever watched the show.
I used to watch that all the time too, Dusty. Hi, Ken. Hello, Ken. And do you remember MacGyver? Who doesn't remember MacGyver? Classic.
That was another one of the shows I just watched a couple of episodes. Didn't really get into it.
You know, I was a little kid. I was bored. MacGyver did something for me. I thought he was a good-looking guy. Okay, this is like me about 8 or 9 years old, and you know what? 8 or 9 year olds should probably not be having a crush on Richard Dean Anderson, but that was me. That was me at 8 or 9.
Is there a place to stream Emergency? Because I know that I saw a couple episodes. I think I saw them on YouTube because I was just kind of jonesing for it one time, and I saw a couple of them. But
have you checked Tubi? Because Tubi has a lot of these like
probably.
Tubi has a lot of these like kind of out of touch shows from the 70s. That's where I found Partridge Family.
Honey West, Adam 12. I remember Adam 12 also.
I have an emergency lunchbox. Love that show. Been watching it lately. I think
Mm-hmm.
everybody had like a lunchbox as a kid. I remember my parents had bought me. I think it was like a Disney lunchbox, or was it Fraggle Rock? It was one of those lunchboxes. And I thought I was the coolest kid. I used to take that lunchbox with me everywhere.
You know, the thing that's great about a lot of those 70s shows, Mike, like you're saying, you said emergencies available on Blu-ray, is a lot of those television shows from the 70s were filmed on film. And if they were filmed on film, it's very easy for them to take those drama shows
Yeah.
and transfer those and upgrade them to 4K and to 1080p, since it was filmed on film. So yeah, so some of those TV shows you can see going into 1080p into 4K.
I don't remember that show, but Dusty, you remember a show called The Phoenix? It was on in the early 80s.
No, I do not. No, I don't actually. I remember Hello Larry. Don't remember Hello Larry, but I do remember Square Pegs. Square Pegs, the opening show, was the same place I had always mentioned, Excelsior High School. The whole opening sequence, Square Pegs, was shot at Excelsior High School in Norwalk. Same place where Reform Schoolgirls were shot. And Grease 2. And who knows how many other shows.
Wow, Secret Champ. We're going deep in the vault. Secret Champ.
Emergency is the Roku channel. Okay. I'll check it out on Roku. Because I know that I have Roku.
I always wonder if the maid on Courtships of Eddie's Fodder would say, "You want that massage, Eddie's Fodder?" Remember Hello Larry? I remember Square Pegs. I don't remember Hello Larry because I never watched it. Because, you got to understand, guys, a lot of these shows were before my time. So a lot of these shows I end up watching as reruns in the 90s or even the 2000s. So that's how I discovered a lot of these shows.
Oh, the $6 Million Man. I used to be into $6 Million Man, too. I had the doll. And I had the Bigfoot where you look behind their head and you like look through and you see through their eyes and stuff like that. I had the like rocket that turned into like an operating room for him and shit. I was in a $6 Million Man big time.
My brother was really into my brother when he was young. He was really into G.I. Joe, so he collected a lot of the G.I. Joes as a kid. That was his thing.
Slee Stack Lunchbox, Land of the Lost. You know.
I wish Hawaii 5-0, 1968 to 1980. I watched a little bit of Hawaii. Oh, Dukes of Hazzardous. Yeah, that show was aged really well. 1979 to 1984 would go on Blu-ray. I own both on DVD. Yeah, Dukes of Hazzard.
I remember that one year for Christmas I was so freaking excited because I ended up getting a ERTL. ERTL.
Yeah.
They made like this toy Hot Wheel set, and it came with like Boss Hogg's limo. It came with Daisy Duke's Jeep. It came with Cooter's freaking truck, the uncle's truck, and then it came with the General Lee. Man, I thought that was the shit. I loved it. Yeah, I used to watch Dukes of Hazzard all the time too. Mod Squad. The Kings are cool.
Classic.
Kings are cool.
Return to Mod Squad. Let's see. So Good, Belle. Both are great shows. Let's see what else. My neighbor had the $6 Million Man toys. I still have the Skeletor Castle Gray Skull toy set. I am a fan of Waylon Jennings. He did the theme. Yeah, he did. I mean, the show as a kid, it was on rerun. So my curious butt wanted to see the show, and I watched a couple episodes of Duke of Hazzards, but I never really went down the rabbit hole of it.
Yeah, a lot of these shows were like before your time, Lisa. That's probably the reason why. But Fantasy Island, that's Lisa. We call her Tattoo from time to time.
I mean, there's a lot of shows that are before my time, but some of them I really did enjoy. Not all of them like really landed with me, even though they were before my time. You also got to realize, guys, a lot of these shows were around when my dad was.
What's the matter, baby? Come here, Mama.
When my dad was old enough, a lot of these shows came out. Like Dukes of Hazzard came out in '79, right? So my dad was in his late 30s in '79, so he told me about those shows. I just there are some shows that are really good, like All the Family I liked, The Jeffersons, Good Times, Room 22. I think it's called Room 222 or something. Welcome Back, Kotter. Welcome Back, Kotter. I really liked. the Dick Van Dyke Show, the Mary Tyler. There are certain shows that I really like because they resonate with me.
Did you know Roscoe P. Coltrane, James Best is related? He's related to the Everly Brothers. He got his own show. Remember they had like I think it was like one season. It was called Roscoe. So he had his own show for a minute there.
Oh, the Munsters or That's a tough question because I like both shows, but
Ultraman, Space Giants, Johnny Sacco, and Spectre Man, Mission Impossible.
Don't make me pick. I'm gonna say both. I can't pick between the Munsters and the Atom Family. They're both great. I love the Bionic Woman. You know why? Of course, we know why.
What are your thoughts of the Dukes of Hazzard movie? Willie Nelson was not really a big fan. I wasn't too much for it. But like I'm one of those people where I like it's like a remake or a reboot just has to blow me completely away before I like be into it.
You know, Trekker, you're on to something. You know, you said you two should do a live stream every Friday night, call it Nostalgia, and maybe some nudity. LOL.
Yeah, at least you could do some nudity. There you go. People would pay to see that. No, I was kidding.
Oh, Knight Rider. Knight Rider is another great show.
Munsters of the Addams Family. I am more of a Munsters person. I'm more of Munsters, but I do like the Addams Family also. But if I had to choose between the two, Munsters. I love the Bionic Woman. You know why? Starsky and Hutch. Addams Family, but I really enjoyed both. Knight Rider.
I've never seen that movie, The Attack of the Killer Shrews, but now I want to watch it.
Yes, about Knight Rider. I own complete series on Blu-ray. Nice. It was Enos. Oh, the Enos show. I'm sorry, Enos. It wasn't Roscoe.
I mean, you can watch it, Loserless. I don't know if Netflix still has it, but that's how I watched the Dick Van Dyke Show. I think, you know, a lot of those like shows from the 50s and the 60s were kind of, I don't want to say they're simplistic, but I really enjoyed them. And I think, you know, when I was old enough and just, you know, into watching TV, a lot of the 90s shows were pretty good too, like ER. What else was in the 90s that I can't think
Dick Van Dyke Show is my favorite TV show. Now, the thing that I find remarkable is that Dick Van Dyke has reached the age that he is. Because if you look at the Dick Van Dyke Show and some of the other comedy he did very physical comedy.
Yes.
Where, I mean, he was jumping on his back. He was flipping himself up. Stop it, meow, meow.
Classic Rhoda. Classic Rhoda.
Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Yeah. I still love the Mary Tyler Moore Show is classic. It's in okay.
Bosom Buddies. I remember Bosom Buddies.
Oh yeah, Bosom Buddies was hilarious.
Yeah, Tom Hanks is Wendy Jo Sperber, the chubby chick on that show. The chubby chick, I should say chubby woman on that show. She passed away from breast cancer. Peter Scolari, he's dead. You know, but Tom Hanks is still here.
Oh yeah, the X-Files. How can I forget the X-Files? That was like everywhere in the 90s. I
like the people they canceled after a few episodes. ER was fantastic. It seemed like that show never, and it was like ER went on forever.
It did, but ER was just one of those shows. One of those shows that stood the test of time, because if you think about the 90s, there was like a lot of comedic stuff, and then you had stuff like ER, and you had NYPD Blue. You had some of those more serious shows in the 90s, but yeah, ER. I thought ER was never going to end. I was like, does ER ever plan to end?
Waltons. The Waltons was the last time I had COVID really, really bad. I put myself on a steady diet of the Little House on the Prairie, the Waltons, and the Golden Girls. You know, that's what helped me get better.
You know what's so funny, Dusty? Mike. You talk about the original Batman. Dusty and Tim and Paulino, we watched some of the original Batman with Adam West and Cesar Romero. I think that's his name. And you know what? The original Batman is actually pretty good. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I do want to revisit it again. The original Batman.
Beretta, keep your eye on the sparrow.
Wait, who's in Kojak? Was it Telly Savalas?
Yes. Who loves you, baby? Who loves you, baby?
I mean, Telly Savalas, that guy.
So, who loves you, baby? The West Wing. I've never watched West Wing. I've heard so much about it. That's another show that I do. I gotta binge it. I gotta binge watch it.
I'll be honest with you. When it comes to like iconic shows, I've never watched The West Wing in its entirety. I've never watched The Wire in its entirety. I know that a lot of people regard The Wire as being one of the greatest shows.
One of the greatest shows. They say The Wire is right up there with The Sopranos and 6 Feet Under. One of the greatest shows ever made.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then there's also another show called It's called Oz. I've
Yes.
never delved into that or Breaking Bad. I'm gonna try for a fourth time.
Hey, Sean, how you doing, Mr. Vinyl Dreamscape? All in the Family of Jeffersons. Great. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time.
Don't do the time. Can't do the time.
Don't do it.
My mom let me stay home.
In my head.
My mom let me stay home from school the day they canceled Chicago Hope. Yeah, I wasn't really sad when they canceled Chicago Hope. It had no hope.
And he's Portuguese, really? Tom Hanks? His brother looks just like him, and sounds like him too. I was watching a thing where they were talking about how they had his brother doing voiceovers for the Toy Story movies.
Yep. And you know who else looks really like him? His one son that's a rapper, Chet Hanks.
Mm-hmm.
The Green Hornet, classic. Do you know that Tom Hanks is Portuguese? Get the fuck out of here. Really? Wait, now I gotta Google this. What?
Speaking of Golden Girls, there was a spinoff called Golden Palace I need to watch. Yes, I think that was just with Blanche and Rose, and it was after I think B. Arthur left.
What?
Or was it? It was all three of them without B. Arthur, I think, something like that.
Why did I just find out? I did not know that, Belle. Tom Hanks' mom is Portuguese. Mm-hmm. You mean to tell me all this time Tom Hanks had a little Latino in him? What? Okay. I'll silence myself.
I never watched a single episode of Breaking Bad, or I've never watched Game of Thrones. Breaking Bad was one of those shows for the longest time. I did not go near it. I just couldn't get into it. I would try and watch first episode, and it wouldn't pull me in. And I don't know what had happened. I think, did I get sick or something? I forgot what happened. But I turned around and I said, okay, I'm going to try and watch this. I watched the first episode. And I said, all right, let me watch the second episode. And it sucked me in. I watched the whole thing. And then I watched El Camino. And then I watched Better Get Saul. It was like, yeah, I got into the whole universe. So really, really good stuff.
I mean, Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad's hard for me to get into. Game of Thrones, I watched like 1.5 episodes.
Yeah.
Of Game of Thrones. And I can't get into Game of Thrones. There's also the spin-off of Game of Thrones. I mean, I'll admit that I've watched bits and parts of Game of Thrones, but I just never could get into it. Breaking Bad, I got to like season 2 or 3, and then I stopped. The same with Walking Dead. I have a thing with getting to season 3 of shows, and then I stop with it.
DJ Von Vertigo. I used to go to Knots Landing parties every Thursday. You know, I'm going to tell you a story. West Hollywood. One time I was out there. I forgot what we were out there for. We were driving through down Santa Monica Boulevard, and we drove past this nightclub. And this nightclub, I was like, what the hell? I saw all these people dressed like old ladies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This nightclub once a month had a Golden Girls night where they would watch episodes of the Golden Girls in the gay nightclub. And I just like, it looked like so much freaking fun. I was like, oh shit, I want to go in there.
When was this?
This was probably about a year or two ago. I saw this. But they had Golden Girls nights where they would dress up like their favorite character from the Golden Girls. And they would, go and they would watch episodes and they would have a good time. Like they'd be playing episodes on the screens and dance and stuff. It looked like a fucking good time. It looked like a ball.
Why the fuck did I not know about this? Because I would be up there with all the LGBTQ people. I'd be up there dressed up as Rose from Golden Girls, and I would have myself a fucking good time.
Addicted to the match game. Wasn't there the other show was called The Dating Show or The Dating something like that show where the serial killer had been on there?
Yeah, he was on. His name was Randy. I think Akala or something.
Yeah, he got like chosen.
He was on the dating. He was on the dating game. That show.
The dating game. There you go. And he actually got chosen.
Yes.
And I guess the chick afterwards was supposed to go on a date with him, and she said she just got bad vibes from him, so she didn't go. Yeah. I mean, and they're saying it's a good thing she didn't go because it could have been like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of game shows in the 70s. We had the dating game. We had the match game. We had the newlywed game. We had Paul Psycho Platter's favorite show, Hollywood Squares with Paul Lynn. I think that was the 60s. But we had a lot of game shows. We had the $500, was it, pyramid game?
Jamie Lee Curtis was in a bookstore once and randomly asked my dad where the restroom was.
Wow. Nice. Okay, let me catch up with the comments.
Did you ever go hunting saber-tooths at that casino, Dusty?
No. Okay, this is very cool. My father-in-law shared an elevator with Telly Savalas in Vegas back in the 70s. Said hi, was very nice, charming. That is so fucking cool.
Yep, Columbo was fun and smart. A rare combination. Never been another show like it. Excuse me. One more question, please.
I love Columbo. I need to revisit it again. Breaking Bad is so bingable. Okay.
I remember seeing a video of Bert and Carmen's being on the dating game or one of those types of shows.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think they do Circus of the Stars. Remember they used to do that other show. What was it? Competition of the Stars, where they would do like athletic stuff or whatever. I don't think they don't do stuff like that anymore.
I mean, Loser List. The show I was addicted to in the 90s was The Love Connection. I used to watch that every week, hoping that these people would find a love connection. That was what I binge watched, and I also watch a lot of Jeopardy. My grandma also loved Supermarket Sweep. I don't know if you guys have seen Supermarket Sweep, but we had to go home and watch that every week it was on. Let's see what else we got here. Great show. Jamie Lee
there you go. Battle of the Network Stars. That's what the name of it was.
Was Estelle Gelly really the youngest one? LOL.
Yes, she was. That's
crazy to think about it. She played the grandma on the show, and she was younger than everybody else. Did you ever? Oh, let's see. I don't know if Dusty's been to a casino within the last 5 years, but maybe yes. The dating game, yes. I always thought he looked kind of ethnic with the curly hair. Yeah, I'm still reeling over the fact that Tom Hanks is part Latino. I did not know that. Wow.
Beretta is a show I would like to go back and revisit. I remember it being good, but I don't know if it's aged well. You know, the thing is, if you think about it, we're talking about, I guess you would. This is the thing that's starting to suck about my older age, is that a lot of my heroes are starting to be like putting themselves in compromising situations where I can't call them my heroes anymore. You know, not going to mention any names, but you know, some of them have pulled some shit, some of them have done some stupid shit where I've been like, and I used to be so into. There's another part of my childhood ruined. You know, and I think it's the same thing with Beretta. You know, when they freaking accused him of William Blake of murdering his wife. You know, it was kind of like. Wow. But I mean, I read the story about her, and what I read about her, she was pretty fast-assed and stuff like that. And she was involved in a lot of stuff. So a lot of things could have happened to her, even though they blamed him for it. But Dusty Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman.
Tricker, that show was awesome. There was just like Mama's Family. Grandma was youngest. Oh, I love Mama's Family. Same with like shows when I was a kid. Like I love Home Improvement, and I used to love Tim Allen on a show. And now that I find out what Tim Allen is like, I'm like, it's like but it's not the same as Robert Blake. Trying to murder his wife.
Not William Blake, Robert Blake. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but the thing is that I've just really had to learn to like separate the art from the artist.
That's how I feel with the Cosby
show. It's really become a thing where there's been so many now where I'm like, I have to say I enjoy their art, but as a person, they're horrible.
Yeah. Vicki Lawrence, I love Vicki Lawrence. Toma, hi Sean, you're right, Dusty. I try to forget how horrible people can be. That's what we have to do when we like certain shows. Kind of have to, separate the artist from the show because we know they've done horrible things. But it's kind of like we want to, like with the Cosby Show, I kind of have to tune out the fact that Bill Cosby did all those things to those women. I enjoy that show, and it's hard.
Alice, that was another show that I really used to like with Linda Lavin. Yeah, Alice, I used to watch that. That's another one that's kind of like It just disappeared. On YouTube, there's a couple of people who I don't know where they've gotten episodes, probably from reruns or something on some cable network somewhere, where they've got like maybe they put like 3 or 4 episodes streamed together, but you don't get full seasons. It's like it's kind of hard to find it, on streaming channels or whatever.
Mel, you're talking about Love Boat. I know the entire dance to Love Boat because I used to play this game called Just Dance. So I know the entire dance to Love Boat. Don't get me to dance on stream, but I know the choreography to Love Boat. I taught myself it.
Hey, don't talk about our Tim Allen. Oh wait, that was a different Tim Allen.
I'm talking about the Tim Allen on Home Improvement.
Mm-hmm.
He's a right winger.
I love Absolutely Fabulous, funny British show. Jules.
Fantastic. If we're talking about British shows, Absolutely Fabulous, Doc Martin, Keeping Up Appearances, Sherlock, Faulty Towers, The In-Betweeners, Coronation Street. Coronation Street is great. Holly Oaks. There's like so many great shows in British Doctor Who in the British shows, but as of recently, has there been anything in British drama that I like? I haven't really kept up with British shows recently, but Coronation Street is still on air. It's been on air like a billion years.
I have an ex who has a signed vodka bottle by that chick from Absolutely Fabulous, or that woman.
Wow.
Mr. Bean, never got into him. Mr. Bean. I don't know.
Yeah.
I believe Ricardo Montalban was in the Love Boat or Fantasy Island. He was on Fantasy Island, probably on Love Boat. I mean, that was kind of like par for the course for that, during the 70s and early 80s. Everyone who had a popular TV show, anyone who was doing anything was on the Love Boat at one time or another.
How could I forget Are You Being Served? Oh my God. How could I forget that? Classic. Are You Being Served?
Wasn't Love Boat kind of just like Love American Style, but on a boat?
Yeah.
They
had so many
not really. No, it's different, I guess.
But they had so many guest stars on that show. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Mr. Bean, never got into it. I thought Mr. Bean's was kind of cheesy. I love Ricardo Montalban. Keeping Up Appearances, Patricia yeah, that was bad. Are You Mrs. Bucket? It's pronounced bouquet. Show Family with I don't remember that show with Christy McNichol.
Yeah, Family. It was the show. It was just called Family with Christy McNichol. I saw a movie about singing and Ricardo Montalban was in it. Do you remember that one show that was called Life Goes On?
Yes.
And it was with the kid who had Down syndrome. His name was Corky.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, I think that was another show. I watched it all the time when it used to come on, but I think it was only like 1 or 2 seasons or something.
I have to go and check that out. Good Neighbor. Cosby is a good example. I truly think that the Fat Albert and the Cosby Show on Saturday mornings was very innovative. It was fun and taught a lesson each week. Turns out he is a monster.
Oh, Kim, but the show Family is on Tubi?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Happy Days. I have all of Happy Days downloaded. Another one, I have it all downloaded in 720p instead of 1080. But yeah, I have all Happy Days. It's kind of funny to see Happy Days at the very beginning, as opposed to like the later years when it got really popular. Because the very beginning, it was pretty bad. It was not very good. Not very good at all.
You're asking what she was famous for? Wasn't she famous for like Coochie Coochie or something? Charo?
Who, Charo? A Coochie Coochie. A Coochie Coochie.
They had her on Wife Swap one time, I think. Charo, she traded life with another person. Yeah.
Vinyl James K said, Cosby is a good example. I truly think the Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids on Saturday mornings was very innovative. It was fun and taught a good lesson each week. Turns out he is yeah, I know.
I mean,
hey.
If you think about it,
cool, Lisa. Just kidding.
No, if you think about it, you are very right. I was gonna add more to it. I just think that the Cosby Show. Yes, you did get a valuable lesson taught each week. It is sad that all those things came out about him. Unfortunately, I don't really watch a Cosby Show much anymore because of those things. But people are like, "Oh, you got to separate the artist from from what they do, because I listen to Michael Jackson, and you are right in a sense, because I do listen to Michael Jackson despite what he been,
Pinky Tuscadero. She was nuts. She was another one. I mean, the same woman that I was talking about that had the bottle of vodka that was signed by the woman from Absolutely Fabulous. She had a couple of scripts from Happy Days that were signed by Pinky Tuscadero. She had a couple of scripts. Yeah, and I guess her mother knew Pinky Tuscadero personally and stuff. But I mean, that woman was crazy. She walked down the street, from my understanding. She took a shotgun. She got arrested for taking a shotgun, walking down the street, and shooting people's fucking windshields out and shit. She was crazy. Gilligan's Planet. I mean, Gilligan's Island. Gilligan's Island.
No, I think maybe there's a show called Gilligan's Planet.
Hey, Bert.
Oh, Bert and Ernie. I love them. Are they gay, Bert and Ernie?
What, Ernie? Hey, Bert.
Ernest Goes to Camp, classic.
Lisa's totally Bert.
And you're Ernie.
Yeah, because you pissed me off. You're like, oh, hey, Bert.
I do a pretty good job of that.
Yeah. I'm like, what, Lisa? Hey, Dusty.
Yeah, I do a pretty good job of pissing you off at times. I don't do it every day.
Nah, you don't piss me off. OJ was a Naked Gun and Leather Tuscadero, Susie Quattro, yes. Mork and Mindy. Gilligan had a cartoon? I didn't know that.
I mean, the only thing that pissed me off is this week when we were trying to go to Ralph's. My dad gets out of the house at 8-something, right?
Yes.
And I'm like, Dad, we're not going to have enough time to go to Ralph's and all these other places. And then, so my dad was like, fine, we'll go early next day. And he did. That's the only thing that pisses me off, is when people go too late to places and I can't go to it because it's closed.
Let me see. Gilligan had a cartoon. I remember Corky. Yes. Taxi. I'm sorry. Christopher Lloyd made that show, though. He totally made that show.
Taxi is classic.
To this day, I that scene. Every time I go to the DMV, I think of that scene when he went to go take his driver's test. And he says, what does a yellow light mean? And he's all, slow down. He's all, what does a yellow light mean? Slow down. What? That's totally Simone right there.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking I was more Andy Kaufman's character on the show. I think that's who I'm more like.
WKRP in Cincinnati, the Monkees.
Oh, yeah. You know what?
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I can get away with it. If I do a Thanksgiving stream, I got to play that episode on Twitch.
Yes. The Monkees.
My mom called my nephew the A-Team. You know what my mom said?
What?
My mom, because he had his hair up, my mom goes, you look like Mr. T with your haircut. You look like Mr. T.
From the A-Team.
She's like, I was like, Mom, you know the A-Team? And she goes, yeah, I watched that show.
Has the Monkees ever come out on Blu-ray, or is it just a DVD collection they have?
The Monkees TV show is on Blu-ray. But
it is on Blu-ray? Okay.
Well, it does cost a pretty penny now, because I think, unfortunately, it is out of stock. It came on Blu-ray in 2016. You were able to purchase it on the web store. It came in this really nice box. However, I do not know if they have reissued it on Blu-ray recently, but in 2016, I think it was the very first time they ever put it on Blu-ray. Because prior to that, if you wanted to get the Monkey Show, you had to get it on DVD. And my stupid ass only has season 1 and season 1 on different DVD sets. I didn't think to buy season 2, and now the shows are going for a lot of money on DVD.
Well, I mean, I know that they came out with, like you were saying, that box set, but didn't they, not too long ago, I remember watching something on YouTube, somebody talking about, that they were selling them again because they had found so many hundreds of copies of it or something like that put away.
I think Andrew Sandoval, you're right. I think Andrew Sandoval...
Hey, stop it.
Andrew Sandoval had came across a bunch of copies of it. Because Andrew Sandoval is the historian for the Monkees.
Okay.
He's the one that, gets Monkees things releases. And so I think they had came out with some, so they released them on the Monkeys website.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing about it is when they have it on the website, you should buy it because those things go for a lot in the aftermarket.
Mm.
When they're not in stock, like it goes for $400 or $500. Those things retail for about $299, I think, on the website. But as of recently, they have not done a reissue because the show you could probably find a show on somewhere and download it. I've seen all the episodes like hundreds of times.
Yeah, I mean, I have them all downloaded in 720p. So that's the reason why I haven't bothered to like try and like buy it or anything like that.
But the Blu-ray is really cool. The Blu-ray is really cool. The quality is really pristine. I think if you are a Monkeys fanatic or a Monkeys fan, you definitely want to pick up the reason why I didn't pick up the Blu-ray is because I don't have a Blu-ray player, so it just makes no sense for me to pick it up. But
yeah.
But if you don't have a way to download it, cough cough, BitTorrent.
Yeah, there's a way to find it. If anything's out there on 4K or Blu-ray,
I mean, I have all
you can find it.
I have all the episodes on my old computer.
The Incredible Hulk. Now, see, here's okay. Now, with a lot of those older shows, like Mike said, The Incredible Hulk, Miami Vice, I don't have them on Blu-ray. I have them on DVD. But for me, I don't know if it's just a game that I play with myself, so I don't go out and spend money on upgrading. Yeah. I always tell myself, well, when these originally aired, they looked horrible. And Blu-ray, they look excellent. They're in 480p, and I just tell myself, that's good enough. Oh. I don't need this on Blu-ray. So I have The Incredible Hulk, but I have it all on DVD.
Oh, shit, we're going down memory lane for Dusty, the Banana Splits.
I don't know anything about Banana Splits.
You never watched the Banana Splits?
Mm-mm.
What show do you watch as a kid? What was your show as a kid that you watched?
I don't know. I mean, I had like, Great Space Coaster, trying to think, the Commons like everybody else, like Flintstones, stuff like that. I mean, I don't really think I and then of course I had like, Battle of the Planet, stuff like that, so.
Yeah, we had Fraggle Rock, we had Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Sesame Street, we had the Alvin and the Chipmunks. And there was a lot of good stuff, but the Banana Splits, I remember someone had talked about it a while back. So I went down the rabbit hole of watching the Banana Splits, H&R Puff and stuff. What's that other show? Captain Kangaroo. You guys had some weird ass shows.
Listen, Newsy Review. That's what I used to call my ex-wife when she used to get pissed. I used to call her Henrietta.
Yep, one monkey left. The only monkey alive is Mickey Dolenz.
I am sorry, but she bought this sundress one time. One summer, she had bought this sundress, and it was supposed to be like something that you wear over your bathing suit. Yeah. And when she put that thing on, she looked like Henrietta Hippo from the Newsy Review. I'm sorry. I told her.
God damn, Dusty, you're canceled.
She used to tell me all kinds of shit. She used to tell me all kinds of shit, but I turned and said, yeah, I'm like, oh, yeah.
I mean, if she's telling you shit, then it's fair game.
Yeah. She's calling me a fat fuck all the time, so I'm like, I don't feel bad.
I'm on the same boat. I don't care much for MASH. MASH is one of those shows I try to watch, the reruns, and I don't know, it bored me. It bored me. MASH bored me.
No, I liked MASH, but it's like, the thing about MASH is I don't think it's something it's not like a go-to for me. No. It's like maybe once in a while I might get a curiosity. That's like one of those shows where I may turn around and may watch like the beginning episode, the first one, then maybe I'll watch the end or something like that. But it's not like something where I'm like, I'm going to sit here and binge watch MASH. It's like not really one of those things for me. The Jacksons cartoon I have on DVD. Osmond's cartoon not available to my knowledge. Nice. Is the Jacksons cartoon available on DVD? Or do you have to? Because I know there's certain websites you can go to where they will go ahead and sell it to you.
Peter took one monkey left, and it would be called The Monkey. Yes. And that is true, Trekker. I mean, that is true, Dave. You need to join the Mormon Church to get the
Osmond's cartoon on DVD.
I mean, we recently lost an Osmond.
Those R-rated Newsy Review outtakes are hilarious. I got to check that out. Are there really actually R-rated outtakes.
Oh, so there is a Jackson 5 cartoon. I need to check that out.
Matches the film from the 70s was great. The TV series hasn't aged well. Movie, yeah. Okay, I agree with that. Yeah, the movie was better. TV show, not so much. But if you really think about it, it's like, think about some of the stuff that they were doing on MASH. I mean, you had Klinger, who was like, he was a, you know, well, I guess you could say he was a transvestite. He wasn't a, you know, transgender, but he was a transvestite, and nobody would blink an eye. You know, people were used to it. He was on there every episode. He was on there dressed like a woman. Nobody cared. You know, so Ellen Osmond passed away. I have the Brady Kids on DVD.
Yeah, I used to watch the Brady Bunch. That was. Mm-hmm. We had Lidsville too back in the day. I don't know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Scooby Doo, Where Are You? Yeah, I love Scooby Doo with Casey Kasem.
Mm-hmm.
And Jim Henson's Dinosaurs. There was a show in the 90s I remember watching as a kid called The Dinosaurs, and they had that one dinosaur and say, Nakamama, Nakamama.
Not the mama.
As a kid, we said Nakamama. That's how we said it, and it just stuck. Because my little sister thought they said Nakamama. So
okay.
Angela just said that, so it stuck with us. We say Nakamama.
The Brady Kids cartoon.
The actor from The Matrix was on MASH. So was Leslie Nielsen. Oh, I love Leslie Nielsen in Airplane. Ron Howard was on it. Wow. So Ron Howard, was that like one of his early roles? Because I know the first role that Ron Howard ever did was Opie on the Andy Griffith Show. Or was it the young kid on the Andy Griffith Show, which is another fantastic show. And then he was also on Happy Days. But, you know, Ron Howard since has gone on to direct movies like A Beautiful Mind. I think he also did the Apollo movies. Correct me if I'm wrong. But, yeah, it's just crazy to think about. The only thing I know from Leslie Nielsen is Airplane, and Naked Gun. If he's in other stuff, you guys can tell me what. Oh,
don't call me Shirley. Dusty and Lisa, just noticed you guys are wearing the same glasses. Almost, pretty close.
Well, you know, I got these because if I don't have these glasses on, I can't read your comments.
Pretty close. American Graffiti is good. Yes. Captain Scarlet and the Mysterons was the favorite.
Yes, Lisa, that was the one. Oh, Lidville, the people lived in hats. What? Now I need to see this. Lives in hats? Wow.
It started Butch Patrick. Butch Patrick after he was done with the Monsters.
I am fucking intrigued by that. I'm gonna look that up when the stream is done. Top Cat, Space Ghost, Snagglepuss, Wacky Races, Go Go Gophers, Underdog. You know, when you mention all these shows, it just brings a nostalgicness to me because my dad, when I was young, my dad introduced me to a lot of the shows that he grew up with as a kid. And a lot of shows that my older brother grew up with, because my older brother was born in 1971. So it just brings so much nostalgicness when you name all the shows.
Know, All in the Family in Archie's Place. Okay, I remember seeing a photo. You could probably Google it and look it up.
Yeah.
Of what was the name? Jean Stapleton, the one who played his wife. She was she was into LGBTQ causes, and she used to go to gay benefits, stuff like that. There's a picture of her out there where she was dressed up like a dominatrix in leather, S&M bondage, going to one of these events. And I don't know if it was like during her, when she was on All in the Family, or after, I'm not sure. But it's a picture that's been making the rounds about her, like all dressed up like a dominatrix with the whip and everything.
You have a very good point. Because that's interesting what you said about math. Shows us how politicians can get people worked up about things that aren't a big deal.
Well, okay, I'm going to go probably a little bit off course here. But remember the other day I was telling you when we were talking about the Michael Jackson thing that I had somehow gone down the rabbit hole, and I watched a little bit of the memorial. Well, there's a part where Reverend Al Sharpton, which I know a lot of people are trying to cancel now, but he was talking. He was talking at the memorial, and he says, one part of the speech he's talking, or where he's talking, he says, what was he said exactly? He said, Michael Jackson broke the barrier. Michael Jackson made it comfortable for kids to turn on their MTV and see a black man dancing and singing for them. He made it comfortable for those kids to grow up and have children that they shared the music with, and those kids in turn made it were comfortable with, you know, with African Americans to vote for a black president. So in other words, it like all started from like Motown to Michael Jackson breaking the barrier at MTV, being on TV, and how it progressed. And now that's the reason why they felt very comfortable to vote for a black president. So I kind of think about that when, you know, like when he was talking about this, where'd it go? What were you saying?
Oh, I'm sorry. I must.
Oh yeah, that's what you said about Matt. Show us how publishers get. So yeah, something like that. You know, it's like, yeah.
I mean, I agree with you. All in the Family was so done well for its time. They dealt with some controversial issues each week: race, gender, classics. I wish we had shows that were smart. I think, you know, for the time period with All in the Family, it did push the boundaries of what was talked about. But I think I would love to see a show like that in modern day history. I think, you know, with a lot of the stuff that they said back then have, you know, flied over to modern times, probably not, because we're so PC.
I'm like, well, no, I mean, what could they really do to shock us nowadays? I mean, what could they really do?
They can't,
you know, to shock us now. I don't know. It's like, you know, like, okay, yeah, I don't see how it could be the same. Like I had seen a thing on YouTube where they were talking about All in the Family the first night that it came on, when they first premiered it. You know, they said they had hired extra staff, they had hired extra security, they had hired extra people to be on the phones, and they said that when the episode was over, they were expecting the phones just to light up with people just talking shit, saying all kinds of things, and they were going to take the complaints and they were going to eat it. Yeah. And they said there was complete silence. No one called. Like the world was like shocked. You know, like they couldn't even say anything, you know?
No, they couldn't. And I think we needed a show like that on air. We needed people to see a show like that. Because even though some people may say that show is, you know, not a show that people should see, I think it's a show that still holds, you know, some kind of a thing that people should watch nowadays. And you know, my dad and me was watching All in the Family like maybe about 3 or 4 years ago. And yeah, that show, I think everybody should watch it just once.
Soul Train. Now there's another freaking example. I remember my mom used to watch Soul Train every freaking Saturday morning. When I heard Soul Train, I was like, oh shit, that was the music. I'm like, well, we're gonna have to clean the house today. When I heard her watching Soul Train. But I remember my mom used to tell me, I don't know how, you know, I don't know if this is true. You can look it up. I don't know if it's true. Like I said, it came from my mom's mouth. Who knows? Yeah. But she used to say Dick Clark hated Don Cornelius. And the reason why he hated Don Cornelius is he felt that Don Cornelius was a racist, because Don Cornelius was able to have a show where he only had black artists. And that supposedly Dick Clark was not able to get away with that. He had to have black artists and white artists, and he had to have everything mixed. Now, I don't know if that started to take its toll in the later years of Soul Train, because in the later years of Soul Train, Don Cornelius did try to, like, you know, open his horizons. I remember he fucking had Howard Jones on Soul Train one time. And I was like, you know, I mean, I was a kid. I didn't really, you know, understand. But, you know, wow. You know, of all people to have, it's like, why didn't you have like Huey Lewis or, you know, something like that? Somebody who was like more closer to soul or something, you know, but Howard Jones, it's like, you know, no offense, how much whiter can you get than Howard Jones?
You are absolutely right. The great thing about Soul Train, it featured one of the first ever Asian persons on that show.
Yeah, the dancer. The one chick who was a dancer, yeah. And she was in all kinds of music videos, too. She was in Beat It. And
that was a really, really important thing for Asian people, because back in the day, when we want to have Asian people in movies, they didn't have Asian people. They would have white people stereotypically playing an Asian person. If you guys remember Charlie Chan. And then you remember the great scene in Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Oh my God, that was so disgusting.
That was so bad.
Oh my God, Mickey Rooney.
Mickey Rooney. It was so cringy. And people ask me, "Is that how all Asian people are?" I'm like, no, that's not how we all are. But that was so stereotypical, and the way he did the accent was so cringy. Because let me tell you something: the Chinese people that are born out here, they do not sound like that. But even your background, Dusty, I'm sure they've had some stereotypical stuff about Hispanic people that made you cringe. I mean,
Gino Vanelli, a Canadian musician, was on. Okay, so maybe Gino Vanelli. I just remember Howard Jones. Maybe Howard Jones came later, but I just remember him as being like one of the most prominent. Where I was like,
let me see. Let me see who else was on it. Now you got me curious.
Yeah, look, Google and see white artists, or I could like be remembering it completely wrong.
Okay, let me see.
So
okay, we had. Let me see. Wow, I'm looking at the list.
Yes, I'm Hispanic. I'm actually what we call a Wiener Schnitzel because I'm half German, half Mexican. So yeah, I'm a Wiener Schnitzel. There you go.
Okay, I'm looking to see. Okay, all these artists that they're mentioning. Let's see, artists who appeared on Soul Train. Let's see. I'm looking it up. Okay, let me see. There's like a lot of articles here. I'm trying to find one. I mean, well, even I'll name some of the artists that have appeared on it. The who's who of who have appeared on the show. They're all. James Brown has been on there. Aretha Franklin, Smokey Robinson, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye. They're the Jackson 5, Last Night at the Pimp. I'm trying to find a white artist though. They're giving me all these black artists. I want to know who the white artists are. I asked what. Duh, I forgot to put white.
Okay, it says several white artists appeared on Soul Train to perform R&B. Okay, Elton John, David Bowie, Tina Marie, Average White Band, Gino Vanelli, Dennis Coffey, Tower of Power. Okay, so maybe Howard Jones never was on there, but that's the ones that they're saying.
Tom Tom Club was on there.
Okay.
Cheech and Chong, Backstreet Boys, Grace Jones. Okay, here we go. They have a list on Wikipedia.
Okay, wow. There you go.
So many people have been on the Soul Train show, and I'm trying to see if there's any artists that I see on there that are white.
Beastie Boys.
Hall & Oates was on there.
Yeah, but that right there, that's like, Blue Eyed Soul. So,
but Hall & Oates does kind of sound R&B.
Nick Cannon was on there. Did he take all his kids?
Yeah, he took.
All his kids.
Let's see who else we have. I'm like looking at the list.
Sheena Easton.
Ooh.
Let me see.
Kenny G was on there.
Of course, who could fucking resist the G? Jose Feliciano.
I mean, I need to know how Kenny G does his fucking hair because that man has got some good.
Go West.
Yes,
really?
Go West. I'm the king of wishful thinking. Think about that. That song sounds like a black
Dan Hartman.
I can dream about you.
I guess Don Henley. I'm guessing some of these people probably had hits that were so big at the time that they couldn't be ignored, probably, where he wasn't able to get away with it and just be like,
I mean, we also had Jennifer Lopez on there. That's no surprise. No surprise. She got all the rocks in her bags.
Yeah.
I'm like looking. Let me see who else I see on here that. Oh, wait, who's this? Oh, I know who Pebbles is. Never mind. Wow. It's amazing how many people actually were on Soul Train. I'm like looking at this list and I'm like, wow, it's the who's who of music. But I gotta wonder why.
The Thompson Twins? Well, they have a black guy in the Thompson Twins.
I gotta wonder why Don Cornelius did not want to open up the show to white.
Frankie Valli, Gino Vanelli.
Like, why did it took him so long to open up the show to other races? I don't know. But
anyway. Jack Wagner. Yeah, I think because he didn't have to. He was, and they never pressed him for it either.
No, because I mean it's called Soul Train, and let's be really honest. most of the people who do the music of R&B and hip hop are of, African American. So yeah. Oh, wait. Let me see who this is. Oh,
Justin Timberlake.
who's this Cuban Link?
Sting.
Yeah, Sting. Sting
Mm-hmm.
has got soul in him. Okay, Sting has soul in him.
Fucking Spandau Ballet, for real.
Yeah. I know this much is true. Ba 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 ba. Are you not surprised, guys? Spandau Ballet had soul in their pussy. Okay,
Pet Shop Boys.
Another one that had soul.
New Kids on the Block, of course. Yes. Okay.
That had New Kids on the Block. Yeah, Howard Johnson. Howard Johnson was there.
Somebody called Mr. Cheeks. You must be Mrs. Cheeks. There you go.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Ooh.
Yeah, Howard Jones was on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I knew it. Howard Jones was there.
I'm just surprised that Go West was on there because, I'm just surprised about it.
Yeah, so
I wonder if they had any Asian artists. I'm looking to see.
Brian Austin Green. Jesus Christ, really?
Wait, did Brian Austin Green have like a hit song in the 90s?
I guess he must have had like one song or some shit, probably.
I'm not going to look that up because it probably sounds horrible.
Duran Duran.
Oh, Captain and Tennille was on there.
Oh, okay. Culture Club. But, if you really think about it, during the 80s, some of these bands like Culture Club, Duran Duran, they were just, I think they had hits that were so big, they couldn't be ignored.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and get off that. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. They had hits that were too big to be ignored, so.
Early 90s Soul Train switched to more pop. That's very true. But it was kind of cool. There was a show featuring specific black artists. I like a mainstream show that try to show black musicians. Yeah, that's a good thing in my mind. When Soul Train came out, I just thought it was great. Because, black African American people, we did a lot of shit to them with the civil rights and the slavery. It was just nice for them to have something that, people can watch and be like, wow, I'm learning a lot about these different African American artists. And, I don't think the show is racist. I think, the show had every right to be on air because if you think about it, every other show was catering to white people. They had, the American Bandstand. They had the Midnight Special. They had all these other shows that were on that was catering to all people. And to have a show where some young kid could, watch it in the morning and be like, oh my God, there's a black African American artist on TV. Maybe one day I could be on TV just like that person.
Do you really want to hurt me? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
There was a thing that I sent out. I think I sent it out to you and Paulina both today. It was like the most funny thing I've seen in a while. It was like a little meme, and it's this man who's like, it's an old fat white dude.
Yeah.
And it says something about like he's talking about his exes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it says like he like has something written and that song's playing in the background. Do you really want to hurt me? And it's like oh my God, he's all smelled bad but had a big butt. And then he had another one, wanted to lick me 24/7. And it's like he had something written about each ex.
Oh my God.
I turned around, I reposted it and I put, when I get old, I aspire to be this amount petty.
I mean, to tell you the truth, as much as I dislike people that I was with in the past, I would never go and make a smear campaign about them because
I don't think it was real. I think it was just somebody made a joke.
No, but you know what?
Funny or
I've seen that another person making that exact video too. So I think it is a meme. Groovy Lisa CDs and digital downloads purchased on her Bandcamp. I mean, I did do choir for many years, and I did do singing lessons. But yeah,
they were trying to compete with MTV. Didn't Don commit suicide? Yes, he did. Yeah, and I've said it many times before. David Bowie, like I said, he put MTV on the spot during an interview and asked them why they were not playing black artists. And the MTV VJ was kind of like, he was like looking around the room like, somebody tell me what I should tell him, type thing. Like, because, and he says something really stupid. And David Bowie just like looks at him and goes, mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you
like
think
everyone's
about
like, yeah,
it,
that's exactly what I thought. Dumbass. Yeah, that's what I thought.
He was put on. If you think about it, he was put on the spot because I hate to say this, but Michael Jackson is not the only black artist around when MTV was a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing about it, if you think about it, there are so many great, African American artists of all time: Sly and the Stone, Curtis Mayfield, Stevie Wonder.
Mm-hmm.
The Isley Brothers, Michael Jackson, Lionel Richie, the Temptations, the Aretha Franklin, Etta James. There's just so many great African American artists, and to have a show like Soul Train, which was highlighting the great efforts of what African American people were doing in music, it was a welcome kind of thing because MTV. Let's be honest, MTV was one of those shows that catered to a lot of white artists. They did.
There was a scene in the movie Michael, which we still got to watch.
Yeah.
But there's a scene in the movie Michael where Michael Jackson is going to the head of his record label and he's saying, you know what? I need my videos on MTV. I want my videos on MTV. And they're saying, no, MTV doesn't play black videos. You know this. This is the way it works. And he turns around and says, I don't care. He's all, you need to make them play the videos. You need to do something. I'm pretty sure it was not as easy as they made it look in the film where the president turns around and picks up the freaking, phone and makes a phone call. But the way they showed in the movie is he picks up the phone, he tells the guy from MTV, he goes, can I have the president of MTV, blah, 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 whatever, get him on the phone. He gets on there and he tells him, he's all, listen, I'm sending over these Michael Jackson videotapes, these videos. You're going to start playing them on rotation. I want to see them on the hour, every hour. I want to see Billie Jean. I want to see this. I want to see that. And the guy from MTV tells him, you're crazy. You're not going to see that. And he goes, okay, here's what you're going to do then. He's all, you're going to take all those videotapes from Cyndi Lauper, Bruce Springsteen, Billy Joel, and he starts naming off all these artists. All my CBS artists, I'm pulling them. You take all those videotapes. He's all, I want you to put them in a bag. I want you to grease them up and shove them right up your fucking ass because you're not going to play them anymore.
I mean,
you don't play Michael Jackson. I'm pulling them all.
I don't think it was that simple back then.
I don't think it was that simple
Michael Jackson, prior to Thriller, which came out in '82, I think it came out in November 29th of '82. Prior to Thriller, Michael Jackson had, Off the Wall. And the thing about it was, yes, Michael Jackson did break down the barriers for more African American artists to be played on TV shows because let's be honest, there was a lot of African American artists doing music prior to Michael Jackson's Thriller, but Thriller really did open up the doors. People were like, wow, I want to see more of that on screen. And when Billie Jean came out, it was groundbreaking because there was not a lot of African American artists on MTV. And
I mean, now if you look at the videos now, like if you were to look back at the Michael Jackson videos, it's like there was nothing really groundbreaking about Billie Jean or Beat It. I mean, were they great? They were great. Yeah, they were great. They were shot great. They looked great, but were they great? I don't think they were like, oh my God. I mean,
I wasn't meaning groundbreaking in the sense that the videos were groundbreaking. I mean, it was groundbreaking that it opened up the door for other African American artists to play.
Well, yeah, no, you're completely right there. Yeah.
You're completely right there. The videos are very simplistic. I mean, it's not Michael Jackson carrying his crotch in a video. It's very simplistic in the way that the videos were made, but no doubt Michael Jackson is a fantastic dancer, and he could dance circles around a lot of artists, but you are right in the sense that the videos were very simplistic. Michael Jackson really didn't do very over-the-top videos. I think in the 90s, his videos started to get a little bit more less simplistic and a little more well-polished, like Stranger in Moscow, You Are Not Alone, Remember the Time. The video he did with Janet Jackson's Scream, which is the most expensive video to date. And so I just think in the 80s, Is his videos very cheesy and simplistic? Yes. Although Smooth Criminal, that was a pretty good video. I'll give him props for that.
Yeah, I mean, it was like I said, they were shot well. I mean, good
Yeah.
concepts and stuff like that, you know. But
Oh, I love Billy Ocean, Caribbean Queen. That's my jam. That's my jam. The groundbreaking video was Electric App. Well, you know what, Paulina? That's a fucking good song. That's a fucking good song. That and Jerry Rafferty's Baker Street.
we tried to make music videos, but went through a ton of singers. They kept injuring themselves doing the MJ Crash Garage.
Yeah. I mean,
You know, it was like really hilarious when you ended up watching the video for like Torture, the Jacksons' Torture, the Victory album. The album that was like supposedly the album that Michael did not want to do and the tour he didn't want to do. But if you watch the video, it's hilarious. He didn't even show up for the video shoot. In the video, the Michael Jackson that's standing in line with the brothers is a fucking mannequin. It was like it's a fucking mannequin. It's like he's standing there like this. The mannequin's standing there, doesn't even move. It's like it's hilarious.
I mean, I think he was pretty much. I think I think he was trying to distance himself from the Jacksons, the group that he was with. Because let's be really honest, in the '80s, Michael Jackson was doing pretty good after Thriller. I mean, his other brothers, Jermaine Jackson, tried to have a musical career in the '80s, and well, that didn't pan out. Even Latoya tried to have a career, and that didn't pan out. So the two Jacksons that had the most success is Janet and Michael. The rest of them just kind of had like minor success. I've seen the Michael Jackson movie. Yeah, I mean, like I said, me myself personally, I wasn't really too impressed. It was kind of like I said, it was the greatest hits, kind of skimmed over everything, type thing. I mean, I still have to watch it with Lisa, but I still want to see it because I think even though you may not have enjoyed it as much, I might have a different perspective in it.
Yeah.
And because I wouldn't consider myself the biggest Michael Jackson fan, but I will say that, growing up with Michael Jackson as a kid, the very first song I ever heard from Michael Jackson was probably, I want to say 1987 or 88, Space Day. My dad had that on cassette, so he would play that for us. So that was my very first introduction to Michael Jackson. I like to, let's see, Perfect Voice. Sade is just like, oh my gosh, she has the most unique voice known to earth, and I love her album Diamonds. Beautiful album. If you haven't listened to it, listen to Diamonds by Sade.
Prince. I remember that was another thing. I remember when there was the big competition going between Prince and Michael Jackson. I remember my mother, like I said, my mother was the one who used to guide me in a lot of music. She had told me, she's all, well, my opinion is, she said, I feel that Prince and Michael Jackson are apples and oranges because Prince is an actual musician, and she said Michael is a performer. So there's two different things. Prince is a musician because he plays all of the instruments on his albums. Michael Jackson hears something in his head. He knows what he wants to recreate, and he has other musicians play it for him. So he's more of a performer artist, as where, Prince is a musician artist.
I get that, Paulina. Prince was, you were all about Prince. I was more for MJ than Prince. That's just how I feel. And then Dwayne also mentioned Seal. Now, Seal, that album he did in the 90s with that song called Crazy. I don't know it's the album where he's like sprawled out. That is a fantastic
album. It was just called Seal.
Yeah. That's a fantastic album, Seal, the self-titled album. I think, with Seal, I like Crazy. I like Kiss from a Rose. And also in the 90s, there's a song by Lenny Kravitz that's called, it goes, I don't remember the lyrics of it. I don't remember the name of it. It's like, it goes, too many times I tried to cry, though it's over. I love that song. It's by Lenny Kravitz. But Seal hasn't really released an album in years, but he had a chokehold on the 90s with that Kiss from a Rose song.
I like one brother's song, and his hit is she really going out with him, Joe Jackson.
Yeah.
Never got his big shot. The dad didn't like the sound of the Jacksons.
You know what? When that Joe Jackson song probably came out, people probably thought, "Oh, is he a member of the Jacksons?" But he's not.
All right. Well, it's been 2 hours. It's been more than 2 hours. It's going on almost 3 hours.
We have 17 viewers right now, which is crazy. But thank you everybody for showing up to the stream. We'll probably might do one. It was great seeing all you guys. We probably might do one again next week, maybe on the weekend, like Saturday or Sunday.
Because people, I might be going into a different career. I might be actually taking a job with PSA grading. I might be spending the rest of my days grading baseball cards, Pokemon cards, video games, and records, and putting them in plastic slabs.
I'm glad you like it,
because they want to pay me twice what I'm making at my job right now. So
we might
means my schedule might change. So.
We might be doing these streams instead of doing it on Friday. We'll probably do them on Sunday.
On weekends, on Saturdays. Probably see us for a double dose Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah. I think that's what we're gonna do because it's fun. I wanted this to be a fun show, and yes, we're gonna have to change the date of the show. So probably Sunday. Probably Sunday, but we'll be doing a show tomorrow, right? On Saturday.
Tomorrow I will be doing a music stream show probably towards the late afternoon. I got a couple things I got to do in the morning, but I'm probably towards the late afternoon. I'm gonna be definitely doing a music show. But
thank you to all 16 of you. We got up to like 20 something viewers. I appreciate all of you.
Dave.
Thank you, Dave, for being here. Dwayne, Sean, Ken, Paulina, Trekker. Where's the fucking diaper video?
Yes, we need it.
Kimba, AZ Mick, Dave. I'm looking through the Mike, Chris Hill, and of course, the best looking person in all of here, Dusty.
Really? Well, thank you.
Bell. I'm trying to remember. DJ Vinyl Vertigo. If I forgot your names, there's like so many names here, and everybody else that was a part of the stream. Thank you. We will be back next week on. On the weekend.
Well, maybe Trekker, I might be able to work something out for you. We'll see. I mean, let me go ahead and get started there and see what happens, and I'll see how exactly it works for myself. So.
Yeah.
Okay. But bye, everybody. It's been fun.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.